Welcome to the closing show. For the first time, it's going to be not as well dressed as the midday guys. Looking sharp, boys, but the market is not looking sharp at all. We are still to the downside after starting the morning, gapping up. We are back in the red. The S&P down 0.5%, the Dow 2/3, the NASDAQ just less than 1% to the downside. You'll see crude oil reverse some earlier gains, down 0.5% as well. Ethereum's basically flat, but Bitcoin had a major reversal, rejecting the 20,000 area and taking out that 19,000 as well. When we hop over to the big board, you will see here it's just a sea of red, but not everything is going to be negative. You do have some pockets of strength in there that you can look towards. United Airlines, as a matter of fact, up about 3% as we speak, despite most of the transportation sector being to the downside. There was some strength in healthcare earlier. Most of that board was actually green. Moderna leading the way to the downside, down 5%. It had recovered half of that at about lunchtime, now back toward those lows of the day. But other names looking strong. Eli Lilly up 2%, Danaher up 1%, J&J up 1%, bucking this trend that we've seen into the downside. Energy across the board red. You've got Oxy down 3%, Halliburton down 2%. Not a lot of strength to be found in the energy sector today. So a lot of times you've seen U.S. markets strong, energy down, and vice versa. We're not getting any of that here today. In the semis, you do have Enphase up 5%, but the real story is the downside. Despite the chip bill being signed, and despite us getting some details on that this morning, you've got ON Semiconductor, Intel over 2% to the downside, AMD 1.7, NVIDIA maybe a little bit better than that, but still a lot of weakness over in the chip sector. Getting crushed today is Netflix, although it's only 3.7% to the downside. They were down a little bit more than that when we left you in the morning show. So it's setting up for another one of these types of days where we are finding ourselves in a weak market going into the afternoon. As always, though, we like to do a bit of a review as we go back and look at some of the trading opportunities and, in fact, trades from earlier on in the session. And Sean's going to be right here to take it away with one of his trades from this morning.
Yes, sir. It's your trade of the day, and today brought to you by, like every day, Day Trade the World. Make sure you scan that little QR code in the bottom and start your journey with Day Trade the World today. Okay, look, this is going to be very, very simple. We can get this over with real quick, right? It was written on here. Let me go over this way so I can show you. This goes out every day, 8:30, 8:30, something like that. It's my sticky note. Right on here, Shopify 30, short sell. Looks like it wants to break. I mean, I'll talk about that in a second. Been here, hovering around here for months. This $30 level. If it breaks, it's see you later. So look at this. This is the daily here on Shopify. Obviously, we've split weeks ago, a month ago, and now look at this very bottom at $30. So we just kept bouncing its head against there over and over again. Call up any daily chart and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Then we had the NASDAQ starting to pull down again this morning. Started with an up NASDAQ day, and so Shopify started to creep up a little bit here. But there's 30, we highlight it, there's the line, and this was actually a stop order that I put in right as soon as I sat down today. I did the research over the weekend, in between researching some fantasy picks. We figured this out, we got that 30 short, we put it in. So as soon as the market opened, there was an absolute collapse of the stock, and that's just triggered in. Most of the trading I do getting into positions is going to be with a stop order. So we set our stop. If you break below 30, sell. And that's exactly what we did. We actually wind up putting on a big position. And then our first outs don't actually start to happen until about the 60s. So we actually let this thing go. It actually breaks, and I remember doing this because I was talking with Luca. It actually breaks and then goes above. It goes back to about 30, 20 or something like that. And it's a little bit against me. And I'm like, yeah, maybe this is wrong. But it's in the first minute. Then it just absolutely falls down. And then we just started cashing out. Why? Because some of those bottoms, there is actually little bottom wicks down here to like 20 29.85, things like that. But remember, this is before the split, right? So the prices aren't exactly accurate to the penny. But then it comes all the way back down there. And then we just start getting out, man. Like we're getting out 29.20s, 29.30s. This is the style that I trade. Try to hold something out for that dream. But then basically comes back down. We start getting out the very bottoms. We don't get out there. As we break back above and the momentum changes in the market, we're able to see that. We actually take longs when this starts to happen, but not in Shopify. And we get our last piece out right there at 29.40, creating a huge win for us early. Sometimes it only takes one trade and you make your day and that's it. And this one could have definitely been that, about as easy it was off the sticky note and off that 30. And then look at this. I just wanted to review this one more time just so you could see the way that I trade, right? And that was this. Once it came back up, broke 30, bounced back down, broke back up again, then started to come back down through 30, I tried the short one more time. I tried it short at 30, it didn't work. It only went down about like 10 cents for us. We were like, no, thank you. And then look where we get out, 30.15. So we take about a 15-cent hit right back there to some of those pre-market bottoms. So the hit that we take on probably about a third, I think it was about a third of the shares, maybe half the shares on that play, 15 cents. Our first out is 40 cents. So that's kind of the risk to reward that you have to have, especially off the open, because when you're right, and we'll see this with AMD later, when you're right, it definitely pays off to hold a little bit. But then in the middle of the day, you don't want to get chopped up and have it go against you. You can see right now, look how choppy that is, right? Even if I was still in that short, I'd have to hold it 40 cents against me. What's the most it would have paid off so far? 20? So yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Take your risk and reward off the open and hit those bangers with us every day here at Trader TV Live.
Thank you very much there, Sean. As always, a fantastic trading opportunity. And just hitting the wire here, or just noticing this hitting the wire, just jumping over to this KUKE. Bit of a volume spike just in the last couple of minutes, up 57% here. And really just not seeing anything except for about 11 o'clock. There was a NYSE halt for additional information here. Was trading at $1.17 at that time. Now all the way up to 150 and showing some moves, or sorry, up to 135, close to 150 on the top, and showing some moves to the upside. Now pulling back a little bit. So there's been a lot of these small cap runners here. I know you've been trading a lot of those there as well, there, Luca. But the market itself is relatively weak. As always, we covered a lot of the trading opportunities that were out there in our morning watch list, not to mention some of the chip names. I see a little bit of a dichotomy there. One long, one short AMD. I just noticed that, boys. What's up with that?
Well, yeah,
well,
I mean,
we're both in the money.
Yeah, my short is $1.70 in the money.
And I'm just getting started. Over here. Yeah, it kind of felt good, bottoming out here, that 78.50. I was like, why not give it a second go here? Just added to it, looking for a potential breakthrough 79, but obviously you don't want to see that.
No, I do. I'm pretty light on it, man. I'd rather have you win. That's what we're all about right here. We're about making that. Money. And you know what? Why can't we both make money? I mean, since Neil started with do you want to do the rundown here? Is the chip stocks number one there, Neil, or on the rundown? Is it on there? Okay, we'll start with it then, just quickly here because we're on it. So let's just start with the chip stocks real quick here. Yeah, what a great back and forth. Let's be perfectly honest. You know what? We can save them. We'll save them. Let's save them and just talk about. First of all, let's talk about why me and Luca could be in opposite positions. So here on the trading floor, we're with Day Trade the World. We're here in lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Yep.
You know what? We know what happens when we say that, right?
No, I don't know.
There we go. Yes, exactly. So that comes up, and yeah, we're on a prop floor, so we make independent decisions, just like you guys should as well. Luke and I are here to trade with you, look at the market, grab some news from Brendan, aka Neil, at Brendan's desk right now, and that's what really the show's all about: educating, entertaining, trying to show you as many opportunities as possible. So Luke and I, obviously now in opposite positions, but we can still both win. I mean, it's about capturing momentum. Some of us trade with 30-minute targets, some of us scalping, some of us daily targets, go short at 9:30, cover at 4. And it's whatever you're best at. And I think that's the one thing that we promote here at on Trader TV Live is trade your own book, trade your own style. So that's what we're doing. I have a really banger winner in Google right now as well that you could see off the bottom, respecting some of those bottoms. I'm happy to say that I'm joining you guys back, just like my man Luke is here. We're at the highs of the day for ourselves. We didn't trade too much during the during the break there, but we're going to be back to put on some big trades for you, including some that we have on right now. So just a quick little recap there, Neil. Now maybe we can address the rundown.
There we go. And yeah, one of the stocks that obviously we're talking about this morning and unavoidable, so was shares of Bed Bath & Beyond, right? And lower today as the CFO, Gustavo Arnau, fell from his skyscraper, was deemed a suicide. There has been a replacement named. He and Bed Bath & Beyond were accused of artificially inflating the stock price. There was an investigation. In fact, the shareholder class action suit was filed. So under a lot of pressure was Bed Bath & Beyond this morning. Of course, we all know the short interest and the story that goes with it there. There was an initial move at the open, which took it through the high of the day, but since has found itself right back where it started, down 17% and at the low of the day.
Yeah, you know, Bed Bath & Beyond, we talked about it this morning, that morning short, obviously, you know, you got the kind of headline that comes through. It's unfortunate, the situation. I just like to tell myself, look, I'm all about that price action. So, you know, had the morning pop there, was hoping that we could get towards that $8 level. We came close, you know, 25 cents towards there. It's unfortunate that I could not reload the short, but, you know, is what it is. Got the morning short there. As the show ended, I said, you know, my plan is to, and there's that pop that I'm looking for actually on AMD. So
nice.
Very, very nice. I'm holding some still. And, yeah, you know, I told myself I'm going to hold for that 7 target. And then I remember somebody in the chat was like, oh, you know, like Bed Bath & Beyond, like halt. And I was like, you know what? Like, I don't even know, like, at any point that could happen. I'm like, the last thing I want is to be on a walk. And then next thing you know, this thing's halted and then kind of stuck in it. So covered the short, but look at that, man. Just kind of fade to the downside. Had to get that pop before we faded down. You know the rules. You know, like make that move in one direction, then flip the other way. And 7 holding, right? So this is absolutely solid. You know, you could have had 70 cents. I mean, top and bottom, 70 cents, 10%, not too bad. But again, on a name like BBBY, you know, extra liquid. So, you know, there's you could definitely take size on that. But I think, you know, everybody, you know, going into today, everybody kind of expected this. It's like you're going to get that morning whipsaw action. But for the most part, you know, I don't really think there's that many buyers. You had that $8 support. It broke. Now we're below. We could not even touch 8 this morning. I think Goldman released something saying they're a $2 stock.
Yo.
It's crazy.
You see what I just did?
No, what'd you do?
You know that fly?
Oh, yeah.
You think I have it in my hand?
Yeah, okay.
Do you think I do?
I don't know. Let the people decide.
No, you have to see it, because if I release it, you're going to see it.
I think maybe.
Should I just kill it?
I think you do.
There it is. I'm going to let it go. I'll be right back. I'm going to go put it outside. But you see, that's what I'm saying. You're fast like a cat. All right, let's go.
That's you know, that's why he's such a good scalper, ladies and gentlemen, because he's able to catch flies. And I'm like, what fly? I didn't even see a fly there. No, it's kind of crazy there. Guys, just to quickly cover this before we move on, that was a kind of a crazy pop. You know, like I think the overall market, you know, making that pop towards VWAP there, and you know, got the first exit. And go figure, man. My exit over here was, I think, like closer to VWAP. Didn't get that, but you know, now that we're finally breaking above that 79, let's see if that 79 area holds. And kind of coinciding with the overall market. Are we now going to create a W formation? You know, we're almost there. I think we could do it. Let's see what we get towards the end of the day. But yeah, you know, going back to BBY, just closing lower. I think like this thing. I mean, Goldman says that, you know, it's a $2 stock now. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens in the coming days.
All right, fly now saved and now outside right there. So that was pretty good. It was bothering us, so I had to just grab that, get that out of here. Okay, we just talked about BBBY. Look, it's the only losing trade here. Well, we have some other losing trades, but you know, the one name here that's going to be red, and it was a one-hitter for me. Basically, heard what Luca was talking about. It's the same kind of stuff. I mean, you broke that level. Unfortunately, I just had too many shares to hold on to it, in my opinion anyways. It takes out that 750 and we got out. Realistically, I wrote down here, we're just thinking, right here. As I reread this, it's in hindsight, but it was like shorted until 8 breaks. So I don't, you know, like I just got out there at 750 on that break. We take that bottom tick there at 725, breaking the pre-market low, thought it was going to be good. Wrote down myself to hold it to 8. Doesn't even really come close. I'm not sure what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. I was short Shopify there and just was like, trying to focus on that, so put a quick stop in and didn't really respect my own level. But there it comes all the way to the downside. Either way, man, even if I was in this, I probably would have cleared it all out for flat or for a small loser when we started to sort of barcode right there. But it's a nice move down. It is unfortunate what happened with the CFO committing suicide there, and obviously we'd rather not. Those are sensitive issues, and whatever that is, that is. But to me, it does underline, that there could be some share structure issues here with Bed Bath & Beyond. And I said it earlier that if you can get out of this name, holding it, thinking that maybe 8 was the bottom. We talked, that's 13 there, but it doesn't look like it on this daily chart. But if you look at a 20-minute chart, you'll see what I mean. It's Neil and I were talking about this because he was on the desk when this was here. But this 8 was holding all the way, basically all through the 20s here. So late August, and then it held again, bounced up, and then it was holding again on Friday. So my recommendation was try to go long there through 8, and then if it breaks, you're able to get out. Well, today I feel like it's been saved a little bit because it should be down, in my opinion, a little bit lower than this. It's not. So right now, Bed Bath & Beyond, for me, it's a wait and see because like I said, it's a sad event, obviously, what happened, and we wish all the families and everybody involved the best. But at the same time, I kind of think like when there's smoke, there's fire. And with Bed Bath & Beyond right now, like what really is under the hood, unfortunately, a lot of us don't know. But more to come on that story. Neil, I think I'll probably just stay away until we get, it's sad to say, but maybe to the $5 mark. Like, I don't know. We talked about this last week, Luca, when they raised $500 million and their market cap was $1 billion. That's not great when you need that kind to stay alive. But regardless, Bed Bath & Beyond, a great trade today, 23 million shares. Good job holding on to the short.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy one, but certainly still under pressure, as you mentioned there, Sean. But a bit of a different story look, tech obviously has been weak here, but the chips did launch at least a bit of a bounce off the bottoms, maybe doing so here again. We did have the news of the creating helpful incentives to produce semiconductors, otherwise known as chips, bill that had some details come out this morning. So you get $28 billion for establishing domestic production of leading-edge logic and memory chips. Got another $11 billion in several programs there. So the benefits, pretty much as outlined and maybe as expected, at least initially. We were gapping up and looking like we had a chance at holding some of this at the open. NVIDIA was up over 0.5% and looking relatively strong. And then the open happened. So it's not just them. All of tech is weaker. Even Apple to the downside ahead of their event tomorrow. The far out event that we'll see at 1, actually, it'll come out tomorrow. So that should be exciting. But these chips, super weak. Maybe there's a bounce right now. I see Luca with a decent long. But what do we think about those? I know Intel, yeah, I mean, that did some Intel things this morning, Sean.
Yeah, Intel did some Intel things, and I am actually long. I actually flipped over to the long as well. Just let's go over that quickly here on Bed Bath. I was just up there on AMD. So I don't know, Luca, man, whether or not you convinced me or not. I was short. We got out. It did break through the 50 period there as I was up there doing the trade of the day on. I don't remember anymore, Shopify. So it did break, and we should have got out down here, basically right where you're long. So that's a good call. Now we're going to go long against our own levels down here, 78, 75 or so on that long. But yeah, here it goes. Come on, man. We're long at 7. We're long right here. Let's see if it can work its woo. Woo, wow, pop smoke where the woo is here. Look at, come on, Google. Let's get going, man. If I can get those 92s, that'd be pretty sweet there. Ooh, we missed them. But look at Google. We're long $1 in the money. Just didn't even realize that. But yeah, I got to give credit to Neil on this one. As Intel was starting to go back to the downside right there, as all semis were going, I was getting a little thrown around by AMD, like shorting this move. Like if you take this away, let me just take off these fills here so you guys can see a little bit more. The number one name on the sticky note again is AMD short through 80. So as that breaks here, we wanted to go short 80 and we did. It started to tank, good, man, and we were getting out. Like here it is down here. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more just to show you kind of, whoops, we don't want that up. Just to show you how crazy it was in the morning. So here's AMD, it actually breaks through 80 right about here, and we wind up going short. It goes down as low as 60s, maybe touches 50 there on that very wick, 52. And we actually have some outs. We actually have some outs at 53, 54, things like that. But then as it started to go back up, the futures were like not going up, and neither was really NVIDIA or anything. And I was just like, what's going on? What's going on? We kept shorting it. And then eventually, man, like my out was 80, 50. We held it a little bit more, and we wound up getting blasted to the out, right? So it just took us out as it came back down in. But on that note, I was like asking, I was like, Neil, is there anything up with this? Like, what's up with the news? Me and Luca looking. Obviously, Neil looking and came with not much. There wasn't much there. But look at what Intel did. So Neil's like, hey, Intel is still going to the downside. So I was like, okay, let's just short Intel. So as soon as we saw Intel break 31, we had to wait for it to dance around a little bit, and then we hit the short. So as you can see, AMD today, right? Tricky off the open. It actually starts going up at 938, right? Look at what Intel does at 938. It's just like 938, what's that? And it just kept on going down. So now let me put on the fills for Intel, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Could have had this as the trade of the day. There's the one fill right here, and look what time it is, and I just kind of randomly picked that. That's actually 9:48, and we just like got enough of that, tired of it, because we lost on that AMD short, and then this just like a carnival, printed all the way down here. And I don't think we've tested it back again. No, we haven't. So Intel today, man, just kind of like beat up on the weak names, to be honest with you. Intel came all the way back down, and as you can still down 2%. Made a new bottom again, or not a new bottom, but came down and retested those bottoms at 30.40. I feel like some of the bottoms might be in for today. You could get a sideways sort of close. So if Intel does visit down here again, 30.35, we'll probably look at going long to respect that 30 bottom. Meanwhile, we're in AMD, and I'll pass over to Luca in a minute here, but this was the move that got us stopped out right there. We talked about that. But there's some shorts in here that we hit all the way back down. And then, Luca, one of the most exciting times of the morning, I think, was when that market started to go again. And I hit the long on AMD, breaking back above 79, hit that, then a few more shorts that we just covered right now. So, yeah, AMD definitely a thrill ride today, as was Intel. But I think you got to keep trading these chip names, my man.
Yeah, for sure. You know, not every day are these things in play, doing lots of volume and filling all of your orders. You know, extra exciting. Same kind of logic on AMD, not to cover the same things, but that bottoming out at 78.50, it's something we spoke about in the pre-market. You know, this is the prior low, and just to kind of drag over the 10 minutes for everybody to see the same thing, we bottomed out here at 78.50. Then we had the pop. Then we had the kind of drop action, looking like maybe 80 is going to give you like a higher low from a swing trade perspective, looking like 80's holding. It was good on the day. There was lots of volume. Then we finally fell off, and for a moment it looked like 79.50 maybe was going to hold, but didn't, and we had to kind of drop down, and now we're getting that sort of pattern that everybody recognizes, right? It looks like maybe a descending triangle in a sense. If we break that 78.50, 78 area, maybe not today, maybe today. I mean, the overall market's flat, so I'm not really expecting too much. But if for whatever reason we just decide to fall off, break that 78, I think it's pretty clean in my books. And just to drag over the daily for like a kind of a zoom out perspective here, it's like we break 78. I think 75 gets tested at some point, and it looks like a reasonable move to the downside. Volume kind of subsiding for now, but you best believe if we do break that 78 level, there's room to go, and this overall market below 4,000 maybe wants to go below 3,900 and continue. So yeah, always exciting when I'm trading this name. I love trading AMD. It's got the moves, it's got the volatility, it's got the liquidity. There's most of the time volume on the name. Maybe I got to channel my inner you for a little bit more, because you're like scalping it out, and you're like, I'll take some here, I'll take some here. And for myself, I'm just like, size, all in, all out. There we go, make that money. But yeah, no, I mean, these kind of pops, it's like you never really know how far things can go, how far they can extend to. So you always want to, scale out as opposed to just taking one out here. So yeah, always working on the game, but always exciting when I'm trading AMD, NVIDIA, and not so much Intel, but man, what a clean short off the morning.
So before we go back to Neil, because we're both in this, where's our out right now? Let me see where you're thinking, and then I'll tell you where I'm thinking.
So I have a VWAP out, and then like a dream
like if we're wrong.
Oh, if we're wrong. Oh, it's for me a low a day.
Low a day. So you're gonna hold it all the way back?
Yeah, I'll give it because my average is so good.
All right, so that's going to be a little different, right? And I sort of did that on purpose, because my out is actually going to be if we break back down below 75. So we have the 50 period right here at 85 or 88. We've bounced around there a little bit. I'm going to get a little bit of love down here into 74, 75. I just don't want to hold it to the low of the day, but that's why I wanted to bring that up, because I knew that Luca and I would have different takes on that one. But now that I've said that it's going to happen, it's going to go to my out. Yeah, I should have said something.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens right there. We're both in the money nice. Well, Luca's in the money nicely right now, and we'll try to see if we can hold a little bit more here for that dream to see what's going to happen. But hey, any tick down is going to be bad. And the reason is that if that 12,000 breaks, man, I just don't want to be in this name anymore. So a few different reasons for that. But I do like the confidence that you have in AMD. Let's see if it can moon to the upside. I would love to get out anywhere around that VWAP to make it worth my while. But again, in at O's, out 75, 25 cents worth of risk. So we need this thing to work to the upside. Let's see if it can get there. Let's go back over and continue this rundown.
Yeah, and sort of as it should be. I mean, if you're looking to scalp, take a little more size, get a different type of move, yeah, tighter stop. Makes total sense there. But if those levels break to the downside, Intel 30 is going to be spicy. Might be time to start dollar cost averaging that bad boy. We'll see about that. But DWAC, bit of a roller coaster this morning. They did miss out with the shareholders rejecting the bid for them to extend the deal completion. At stake was a $1.3 billion cash infusion that would have given them a leg up, to be sure. There was a bit more to this story as things developed. They were gapping down significantly in the pre-market, actually close to 20% at one point, and then off the open had a bit of a relief rally through 20 even. Then there were some posts positively from Donald Trump on the platform that caused several spikes, and now you've come right back to where we started, almost to where we started. Although, as I look at it here, that 20 breakout is being heavily respected. You've got yourself now a triple bottom at that 20. I think I know what level we should be watching with DWAC. It was disappointing volume in the pre-market and then absolutely exploded at the open.
Yeah, DWAC, just to quickly look at this. Again, we spoke about this in the morning, and it was very light. The volume was very light, and I think anybody will agree with this. It's like when you're looking at a chart like this, you see these kind of candle setups. It's danger, right? Maybe you play the parabolic move for like a fade. That's why I paid for shorts. But again, I didn't really have any levels, and I said, I paid for shorts, but maybe let it go. But man, that 20 break to the upside, now holding as support. And this is a good learning example, I think, just kind of like from a general perspective. It's like in the pre-market, this is what we saw here. We saw this below 20. You had the pre-market seller just below 20, somebody trying to get out there. You knew it was going to open SSR. When you see this, you got to imagine that if we blow through this level, the seller is gone and there's going to be that explosive move to the upside. You have the potential gap to fade. So initially, I was actually thinking short, but then said to myself, are we really going to, reject 20 and where are we going? It's already down so much. The move's kind of baked in. The long is probably good, but again, with a spread like 25 cents, with a little bit less volume for myself, it was a stay away, even though I saw it move. And here was the morning. We burst right through 20. This thing topped out at like 22, I think, and then held that VWAP move and then had that secondary move up. So again, you have the gap to fill. You have the level. If you want to take your shot, take your shot, but understand that, it is going to have less volume. There's going to be a little bit of a bigger spread there. So for me, those are the reasons why I didn't trade it. But overall, decently clean, I would say, kind of holding that 20 area. Once resistance, now support. It'll be interesting to see where this thing goes in the future. It's got to do way more volume for me to get interested. But yeah, definitely exciting. Sometimes you pay for shorts, and sometimes you got to let it go, right? Cost of doing business. Don't just jump into the short just because you paid for them, because then, you get burned. Like I initially would have got destroyed on this if I short, like kind of scaling into this. Like, where's my out? I'm getting rinsed over there. So, kind of happy that I stayed away. Shorts were cheap, so, it is what it is.
I like that. It is what it is. Another name that's a little more exciting possibly here today, and we've talked about this a little bit with Joe Rogan, and is like sort of our Canadian counterpart here, CFVI Rumble, located just down the street from where we are here. Big time movement to the upside now, 12%, doing 6 million shares. Again, most of these SPACs haven't turned over yet, and I don't know when like the date for that is or what, but CFVI today on some, again, I think I heard Sharif talking about it, that Joe Rogan turned down $100 for it, but I don't know. Either way, man, if they're throwing around that kind of money, they must be serious to try to get some more talent into there. You've seen CFVI over the last little while here. This is just a 20-minute chart. Obviously hovering around 10 when nothing's going on because that's the price. And then now, getting some more rumors there that maybe they are going to, become something. And so now you're above $10. I was saying this And it's stupid because it's like, and again, I heard Brad say this on the midday show. If you just take your own advice, sometimes you actually would make money. And I mean, the thing is like when CFEI was down here at $10, it was just one of those pipe dreams to say, hey, maybe something could happen. Because when a SPAC is below $10, you're supposed to, again, it's time value of money. You put your money in there, you wait to hopefully they can get a deal. If not, it's returned at a $10 value. So that's what CFEI had that for a while, just hovering, looking like I guess it was going to close around 10. So the premium's almost nothing. And then all of a sudden you're getting more rumbles about possibly signing Mr. Rogan and whoever else is involved there. So, you know, again, a nice little move up for CFEI. I believe this is the name you want to look at, possibly not DWAC.
Yeah, and with the next name we're going to talk about here, I mean, Rivian definitely has been electric trading action, to be sure. And the story here is that there wasn't a heck of a lot of a story to why it was so strong. When the market was reversing to the downside, Rivian was up, I think, about 3% at the time that we first looked at it. There's been lots of people sort of speculating as to what it can be. There is some chatter, and a couple of sources have been tweeting this out online, that FTSE, which of course controls the Russell, owns the Russell, has a rebalance, and that there could be buy-side moves, 13 million shares to the buy-side on Rivian. On top of that, that's not the only thing being thrown out there. I've seen a couple of comments about Apple's event tomorrow possibly giving a boost to some EV plays, specifically Mullen and Rivian. This is all speculation. I've only really seen one source on that, but a couple were talking about that other story with regards to the Russell. Rivian was absolutely exploding this morning. Reached those highs. I see you're shorted now and given most of it back. But there was a point, I would say at about 10 o'clock or so, where it was pretty clear where the strongest name in the market was, relatively not small cap in the market, and that was going to be Rivian. It's given a heck of a lot back. I don't know if there's any truth to these rumors that have come out here today. Of course, the former makes a little bit more sense than the latter. But what are your thoughts on Rivian? I see you're still hanging on to the top there, Sean.
Yeah, actually, Rivian was unplugged a little bit there, as Neil and I both coming up with the electric headlines on this name. But look, I don't know. It's the same kind of thing as before, right? Is that when you don't know what's going on with a stock, you kind of just got to stick with it. I mean, this was a big move to the upside, $35. You know, Neil came with it. He just discussed some of the stories right there. But this is what I did, and it was a little bit frustrating. If you could see here, our first short is 34.60. We got out at 34.80, so that was 20 cents worth of a hit, but revenge, you know, best served cold. And there it is right there. We take an 80 short, and it almost broke through 35. There goes AMD, by the way, to the downside. So, yeah, we'll go money leaving our account, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Obviously, it's not big enough to do any damage, but still a losing trade on that one. We'll wait to see as Rivian hopefully continues to make a move down. But regardless, the point of what I'm getting at here is that first take was 80. Our first out there becomes in the 50s, so that's about 30 cents. So making that back. Then we get some out here on this bouncing spot at 34.40. Breaks back down, that's 34.20. I don't really know why I took that out. I'm feeling like there might have been the 200 period or something at that point was down there. Then we collapsed back down. We did get out at that point where VWAP was at 33.80. So, you know, at this point, you're in the money $1. It did go all the way down to 33, but like I said, I mean, again, no excuse. You could always get out, but doing prep, I don't think I would have got out anyways there. If this market's going to fail today, I don't see why Rivian should even be up 4.5% on any of those kind of headlines, but hey, it's not me to decide that. Next out, probably back up to 34. If we want to take this out, then hey, man, we'll give some back, but it's $1.25. It's in the money. It's Rivian. And yeah, when things start going a little parabolic on what I consider to be not great volume down there, and we can't find stories on it, you know, I mean, there's stories, but nothing that meant this thing needed to be up 9%. Remember when we looked at Lucid? And generally when these stocks will go, it'll be because, yeah, there's a new bill signed, or there's some reason for electric cars to go one way or the other, or the whole space. And we didn't see that in Lucid. We definitely didn't see that in Tesla today, although Tesla was strong early. There's no doubt. Well, first of all, it was weak, but then see how strong it's been? And Rivian's been going the other way, so that, you know, there's nothing about that. But anyways, wow. You know what? Now that I look at this here, Luca, as we're pretty much almost done the rundown, Well, actually, we are now with Rivian, but look how strong Tesla is right now. Like, this might be the name that we're missing everything on as we look back and try to catch those falling swords a little bit in AMD and whatnot. Look at Tesla, real strong, back to 276. As the only thing that I looked was the Twitter hearing on the whistleblower date is now, trial date is underway. So I don't know if that sparks Tesla to the upside. I never really got that. We know that. And I think it was a fact that he went out and sold $6 billion or something worth of Tesla as this Twitter thing was sort of started a couple weeks ago at this point. So I'm not sure he needs to raise more capital by selling Tesla, but either way, man, they're a big, strong stock here heading into the afternoon.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely Tesla interesting there. And for me, it's more of like a level play. I tend to stay away unless it's at like very specific levels that I'm like, okay, I think I'm not going to be wrong on this, because it'll just whip me around and I'll just dance with it and then be like, all right, I'm not any better off for this. So, tend to stay away from that. But yeah, kind of interesting to see this name actually up. And I want to say also, nice short there on Rivian. That 35 level didn't break 35, actually touched 34.99 and then just kind of fell off from there. And what a move back down. That's a nice parabola, to the downside. Kudos on the short there. And yeah, guys, just to quickly comment on this too. It's like this kind of break. It's like Sean is now out of the long, and I'm like, well, maybe there's a chance that we bounce back here, but pretty light on the position, so not too worried. If this kind of overall level wants to hold, we'll see if that was a little bit of a fake out there.
Yeah, I'm going to still hold on. Just let us know when Neil has any updates on anything. Not that we need anything, but we are now done the rundown. So here we go. All right, that's Rivian. Oh, speak of the devil, what's up?
It was a total coincidence. Spero, S-P-R-O, opened back up just now, halted to the downside. One of the stronger names in the market. I'm surprised you haven't talked about the nickname yet. I'll give that to you, Sean. But up 100% still, but just halted to the downside, 144. Opening a little bit lower and testing some of those highs. The story from the morning was up 10%. They got positive feedback from the FDA in a late-stage trial in patients with urinary tract infection. So Spero Therapeutics shooting to the downside now, despite being up 100%. That just reopened.
Spero could use some Spreos. I saw that actually, and I totally forgot to comment on it. I pulled it up. I'm like, Spero, 140. And I pulled it up. This thing's halted. I was like, oh, man, this thing could use a Spero for sure. But, kind of interesting. And, when I sat down
writes
here.
itself, man.
When I sat down here and I saw Spero was doing volume, I was like, okay, this is nice. We're getting a setup for myself for tomorrow. Let this thing go higher. I would love to see it continue, make that run to 2. I mean, guys, look at the daily on this thing, right? It's like, this thing has been kind of down and depressed for so long, and you have a huge kind of gap to fill here. And it really feels like, if we break above, call it 250, then, it's like, where's the next resistance zone? Maybe 455. So definitely room to go, but that 250 level, potential over-under there. If we set that up for tomorrow, and if this thing kind of loses steam, 66 million shares traded is crazy, and you guys are seeing this. This is the volume today. It does not even show how the volume looks, because there was 100,000, 200,000, so that's kind of crazy. But yeah, now halted, kind of rejecting that halt level. And guys, keep in mind too that, when these things halt to the downside and they print lower and open back up, watch how price reacts around where it halted. Because you got to imagine maybe people are still stuck there. And look at this, right? Very clean. Move to the upside, reject that level, and then instantly back down. So now we're watching that low there. This is paid for shorts for us. I did not locate just because I don't think the range is there. It's already kind of down. The short up here would have been nice. But yeah, we'll see if this thing can, get a boost of caffeine and maybe potentially make a move back above VWAP there.
No, everybody in the chat, we're not doing a shroom challenge on Friday. That does not seem to be very conducive to good trading and or proper health yet. Anyways, but we'll once that becomes a thing, maybe, but not yet. Shroom challenge, that'd be hilarious. Well, we try this shroom, we try that shroom, and then eventually whatever one bugs us out the most.
Sean, you take it from here.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's enough for today, and I'll just be like, where are we, type of thing. I don't know how that would react, but let's not do the shroom challenge. Any other challenges that are pretty fun we'd like to do? We did the Hot Ones special as well. Thanks to Bear vs. Bulls for moderating that and everything you've done on that one, and we'll get back to you on some of those notes. So I'm just looking at Rivian here. I just put my out, honestly, like near this view up. You break 75, I feel like it's coiling up and could bounce back up to the upside now. The NASDAQ, look, I got out of that AMD, and you might have done the right thing by holding on to it. I'm not convinced yet that this thing wants to go back to the upside, so we did drop it off. It did save us a little bit. It goes down to 55, but ultimately buying that bottom again at 50 turns out to have been the right thing. I think this is what we want to do here this afternoon, is just trade the ranges, right? One name that I haven't talked about yet is Google. This one really, man, I mean, let's just have a hot dog party here, which doesn't sound that great because you never want to have a sausage fest or a hot dog party, but there it is today. You're throwing around some of those dogs today because we've bottom picked Google once and now twice right there. So although the Canadian National Exhibition is done, doesn't mean we can't come back and have some more fun here today. But look at that. Bottom picked it there at 106.20, hit it again right there at 106.50, ripped this to 107.50, that's a clean dollar, comes back in, and this is what I'm talking about. We wait for those longs. And we just took this right before we came live on the show. We are just sitting defending 106. That filled us at 106, what am I long right now? 106.11, that filled us, and then we just got out on the way up. I did have some orders out here because as I went to do the trade of the day, I need to make sure that we got out if it did approach the 50 period, and it did. So this is a nice take again for us now in the money. $1.20 on Rivian, 80 cents here on Google, looking to take out some of these highs. But again, I need to find something that's not in the middle. Like I'm not adding this position, nor am I getting rid of it. We only have 10% of it left. The majority of it was out for that 40, 50 cents right there. And then we got a nice piece out when it touched 107 and then again there at 70. So, you know, we're letting these kind of things fall down. If Google wants to come back in, we'll take it at that point. But until then, I think we just got to wait. You know what stock is on one today? I don't know if you guys have seen Lululemon today again, but like I said, those who short this, you know, may not be a great idea. There goes Lululemon straight up to the upside today and just kept on motoring. Just look at this name in the middle of the day, just kept going. Now bouncing off of 324. So this could be another name to look at. I'd rather let this thing drop down here to 324, so about $1 away or so, or about $1.50 away, and then see if that can hold. And that this is actually 2370, this little level right now. But I am getting a little nervous here. The market is, again, hovering near 12,000. You see, this is 12,000. We're above it for now, but wouldn't be surprised if we take it. It's got to take some of these levels in order for this to be a big move to the downside. You're only down 0.67 right now, and I need to find something that's moving. Maybe we got to go on Spero. Maybe we got to go on something else, because if this market's just going to bounce in between these levels, then really, besides hitting the like button right now, there's not much we can do, because you're sort of kind of like a slave to this market, to be honest with you, because as it's bouncing back and forth, you either take highs, lows, or you can somehow predict something in the middle. But right now, both Google and Rivian kind of just hovering around.
Yeah, guys, you know, and just to kind of recap, HYRE, hot chick of the morning, you know, doing a bunch of volume was atop the list, I'm sure, for everybody's list. And, you know, sometimes, you know, you got a 9 at the bar, and then for some reason, an 11 out of 10 comes out of nowhere. I see just kind of surpassing that, 110 million shares traded. This thing just kind of rocket ship to the upside and holding. Look at this, holding. And I'm surprised, to be honest, that they didn't go for that, you know, that dip and rip action, kind of, you know, get people offside. I would be cautious for a high of day break on this thing, just because, you know, is it a high of day clear out? What's going to happen? Who knows? I want to say this one is paid for shorts too. This one actually, no, not paid for shorts. So interesting. The float on this, if I'm not mistaken, is upwards of 100 million. So, you know, maybe get that kind of high day clear out, or maybe just continues and wants to run. But yeah, definitely surprised that this support zone area is holding so well, because, I mean, to anybody that trades these kinds of names, it's like, you know, it'll dip, it'll look like it's going to hold. You'll get the dip action, then the kind of reclaim, then goes for high a day. Just whips around. So this channel is just super tight, super clean, and you know, volume, I guess, kind of coming in at this 15 area over here. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. I would not be surprised, again, if this breaks that 1550, does a bunch of volume and reverses. You know, we see it time and time again. But yeah, definitely all eyes on IC, I guess, going into the close. And yeah, man, that AMD, I'm watching my longs here, because, you know, at any moment this market could do something. And then I'll just be offside. So, you know, I'm not convinced that I'm right yet. I know you said maybe holding on is the right move, but, you know, we go down another 10 cents here, and I'm out of this trade as well. and then I'm just going to let it breathe, do its own thing, and we shall see. Somebody else mentioning EPOW, so let's have a quick look at this one as well.
Let's go to Neil quickly, and then we'll
Sure.
come back. What's up, Neil?
This was actually the name I wanted to come to with you guys. It just broke $4 here, continuing to the upside. You're going to see on the daily chart, big time breakout. There is no news. It's all social media chatter from what I can find. 11 million share float for, despite being called EPOW, the ticker, it is Sunrise Energy. They just recently changed their name. But EPOW, another one of these fast movers here. Starting to pull back a little bit, but big breakout, as you can see on the daily chart. Lots of room above that $3 mark. If it were to get to 5, pretty interesting for some shorts. But 11 million the float, that's the key story.
All right, take it away, Luca. What do you want to talk about?
No, kind of crazy. People in the chat mentioning EPOW, and I was like, all right, here we go. We got another one here. But this one kind of interesting. As we get close to like a $5 level and we're going parabolic into like kind of these zones, I love it. It tends to get interesting. So keep my eye on this one for sure. We'll see where it goes. Are we just going to kind of reject from here and then just do nothing? Or are we really going to pick up steam and then go to the upside, get to that $5 level, and potentially go for a break? And then from there, anybody's guess. Are we going over? Are we going under? Place your bets.
All right, there we go. We'll just tweet that fly catching out there. So I'm trying to find a name, if anybody can help me here, that's like almost, maybe I should go back to Shopify. Like, I feel like this market wants to just head lower. We're under the 50 period. I feel like it wants to test 12,000, and I don't have a great feeling about when it does. So that's something that, I definitely want to look at right now as a possible short to see if there is anything. Let's just go check out on Shopify because it was working so good before. This could be something right now, but again, like you're above the 50 period on Shopify. Like I'd rather it be down here. We're getting ready to break 29.80 again, but this is where you can get those big wins because it reminds me of that Rivian trade that we took. Realistically, this has what? Let's call this a 40. That's 30-40. Like, would that be where I'd get out if it broke? And then, the downside movement here is quite big if it does break lower. So just from a risk to reward standpoint here on Shopify, I think I may have, I'm going to put it on a different screen here because I want to keep my NASDAQ. That's the other thing, right? When the stock is New York versus NASDAQ, it really makes it sometimes pretty difficult to trade on our platform. But there it is. Ooh, we did not get that short there at 22. Let's let it run us over there and take it again. So here we go. So now we're short there on Shopify near that, or at 22 there. Let's see where we go now downside. So there's Shopify. We just take that. And again, the risk up here is honestly just going to be the high of the day right there. 30, 40. Like I'm not, let's not get too cute with this. This is a name here. Like, why is it up? It was the trade of the day for the short. We've already crushed it. There's no way. Like right now I'm in 10% of the trade that was right here. So we'll average in a little bit to it if it comes back up, but I don't even want to get too cute with this one. If it breaks it, it breaks it. What is breaking right now? And I'm pretty sure are you still in Bed Bath & Beyond? No. Okay, no. So Bed Bath & Beyond right now is trying to take down 7. So I'm going to go short here, breaking through 698. Will it be SSR? Yes, it will. So I'm going to try it. Let's try it. Let's see if we can exact some revenge on this one as we were short early initially there on that break of the bottom of the day. We'll try it again here at 7 because like I said, and I let's not talk really about the catalyst there. We already sort of know what that was. The CFO, has passed away there. Unfortunate circumstances, but let's see what happens now at 7. Have we broken this before recently? I mean, we were down there. I mean, this is July, August. Let's see if I can just zoom in. This is again on a daily range. 7. I'm just trying to see. So that's 8. The 7 clean break. Nah, it doesn't look like it. It might have happened intraday or something, but a lot of back and forth here around 7. So I don't really. I mean, what's that? That's 650. That break goes down to 5. So that's something there. But there could be some buyers down below 7. So let's just look at this. If we do get short right now, let's go over to a 1-minute chart. If we do get short, look at this stock just kind of respecting this 50 period right here. So if you do get short, I mean, we could rip up to that, test it, and then come back down. So I feel like getting out of this has been sort of barcoded there before the drop. So I'm feeling like and look, I'll probably get wicked out because 10 cents is really not enough for this. But if it does break back down below, maybe 7.15, something like that up here as an out. So let's assess it, but we will take the short, we'll average in, and then here comes, watch this. We might not even get short, guys. The important thing to remember is, like, when this has $6.99 on the offer and I send out my order, if there's people selling into this, it's going to go 98, 99, 97 all the way down. And then because it's SSR, I can't participate in that. I need it to actually tick up a penny to get me short on the offer. And who's to say I'm even on that price? Like, it could go all the way down to like 95. And then as I'm not crossed down to 96, then I'll have to wait for it to get back up. But here we go. It's Bed Bath & Beyond. It's at $7, and it's a new trade idea.
Yeah, for sure. Something I'm watching right now is I see that 1550. We were actually just up there. It touched it for a moment, and I was waiting for the break. I was like, okay, are we going to break and kind of pop and drop? I was thinking short. I was waiting for it. You know, I really wanted to see the break of 15 and then you know, take it short there, because, you know, if you don't get that, even though you get the double tops, it's like it gives you this action like, oh, it looks like it wants to top out. It looks like it wants to go down. But for anybody watching this, it's very choppy. It's very slow on the way down. And it still does give the feel that, you know, it wants to break that level. The way I look at it is, look, break the level, do your thing, and then I'll react to your reaction. Just make my life a whole lot easier. So we didn't get that. It's unfortunate. I was waiting there, you know, for the longest time. Just could not break that 15. Not to say that it's done. I mean, at any moment we could go for it, but I just kind of like it a little bit less this time. But, you know, still on the radar, you know, giving that double top action. So, again, if we do go for that pop, I mean, 1, 2, 3, maybe, you know, maybe the long is better just because we tested 3 times. So I'm actually convincing myself now to flip. No, you know, I'm going to let it do its thing. If the long is good and it wants to go, it can go without me. But, you know, I just think I want to favor the short for a move back into that 15, that kind of support zone area. You know, we easily could pop, drop, and you know, from that kind of perspective, you get like a nice, you know, 50, 70 cent move, whereas to the upside, it's like, where am I covering? Maybe 30 cents. So I'll stick to my short bias on that one if it does set up. AMD, for the longest time, thought I was going to get stopped out, but man, that bottom is strong. 78.55 being the most recent bottom. You got bids stacked up here on the book. I mean, I feel at any moment, if this market like wants to make a move for the upside, you know, break VWAP, like AMD is going. So, you know, I'm holding on to this one. But again, if we do break, I have to respect this level. I mean, look at this, like 1, 2, 3, and now it's like boom. And then are we going to just like flash down? Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. We shall see what happens there. But yeah, some trade ideas there. And yeah, that Intel level, 30 level, kind of interesting. You know, that Bed Bath & Beyond 7. I mean, what did you say before? You said if we just listen to ourselves, then we'd maybe make some money. It's like, what did I say from the morning? You guys could watch it again. I said 7 is my target. And then where's my cover? At like 7:32, because I'm like, I'm going to go for a walk. And like, what's 30 cents? I'm like, it's okay. And now here we are at 7. And 7's probably going to break. You know, and then once it breaks, is everybody going to try to be slamming the short? And, you know, this thing kind of flashed down another 10 cents. So, yeah, you know, kind of interesting there. I would have had the extra 30 cents, but peace of mind sometimes is just so good.
And with peace of mind comes Mr. Neil Roberts. What's up?
Yeah, I can't give you peace of mind on that one. I mean, I wish I had that short too. It was a great look and it was the right call. Certainly, that's what you got to do. You start with that and then you move on from there. But we talked about Rivian and there was that one kernel of potential news with regards to Rivian, and I want to pull up the social sentiment board because one of those things was Apple's event tomorrow, possibly moving some EV names, and one of the ones mentioned was Mullen here, and you'll see Mullen actually on our social sentiment board. Some chatter, don't sleep on FWBI. That's starting to move again as well. You'll see Tesla up there pretty strong, but Mullen, and I bring it up, I know it's a penny stock, but there is a bit of a bounce happening. We're looking at things that are at the highs of the day. Mullen has been sort of barcoding around and holding the 60-cent mark, but it just took out its high of the day, is starting to run a little bit. As I said, the speculation that there's something that could come from Apple's event tomorrow that could move the EV names. It's just a couple of people tweeting about it. There is nothing firm that I could see, but there weren't a lot of explanations for why Rivian was moving at the time, and one of those notes did mention Mullen moving as well. But that social sentiment board, it does give you some trading opportunities. CFVI, super strong here today. I am surprised to not see Rivian on this board. It's kind of shocking to me, as strong as it was earlier, that Rivian didn't find its way to this board.
Yeah, it is shocking about that Rivian. I'm actually look, we talked about Mullen days ago, right? And it was about that, like that, some of that 50 bottom, and then just trying to see, is it possible to try to catch, one of these falling swords here on a name and then just use that past bottom. Yeah, there it is right there, 50. So I believe the name was around this same price when we talked about this idea. And what the idea is, I mean, look, you're probably flat on it because I feel like it was just the last couple days that we had this discussion where if you buy mid 60s now and even 10,000 shares or I don't know, 1,000 shares, whatever, put $500 in this thing. Again, I don't think you're going to get rich or anything. You only put in that much. But at the same time, you do have a huge opportunity to break higher. I think it must have been over here that we were talking about it because we wouldn't have probably brought it up unless we had one of these moves. But back into the 70s there, that's already like 10% worth of a gain there if you like that. And then if you go long anywhere in the mid 60s, you can just set your out like at that 47 or 48. Still sucks, man. It's still going to be like a 25% or even... Wait a minute, that would be, 10 cents on 60, so less than that of a hit. So, I think that there's definitely enough risk to reward here on that, especially if Apple Day is going to be coming through in the next little while, actually tomorrow. Then, could there be a news about Mullen? Let's be perfectly honest, probably not. But hey, that is worth the risk. So if you're going to do that, I'm going to take a shot here. If we do break back above 66 cents, that's the high of the day, and I have my order set there. So I'm going to take that long if it breaks above 66, just in case there is some sort of truth to that rumor. It's actually set Fahad, so like even when Neil calls for you, I must be on the wrong setting. I hear it, so I get it much earlier. Let's go, Neil.
That's hilarious. Fahad's like, yeah, go to Brendan. I'm not Brendan, but I'm going to talk about a name that he always mentions when it comes up. There was a story here moving SIGA just a little bit, a bit of a move to the upside as the U.S. is expanding their monkeypox vaccine drug distribution through AmerisourceBergen contract. That's going to affect a few names listed. SIGA, one of those. It just had this rather significant volume spike to the upside. Got to 14. Man, I'm telling you, like you get to these key resistance levels on a weak stock, and it just gets faded right back in. But a pretty significant volume spike for this name. Still down on the session because it's been getting crushed pretty much all day. If there's another pop, watch out for this 14 to 14.10 area on SIGA. And don't sleep on that SHPH. That's actually holding up at about $26, holding some highs as it's been pretty strong. So I'm not sure that one's done just yet. Volume kind of slowing down, but still within earshot of those tops.
All right. I did want to talk a little bit. Yeah, thanks for all that. There's a lot of stocks here right now that are sort of reacting a little bit here. Some nuclear stuff from Iran. Nothing coming through right now on that, though. That was a little while ago. There was a blast heard over Syria's Aleppo as well. That's about an hour ago. Market doesn't really seem to be reacting to any of those stories, but so far so good on the market, trying to hold up and actually trying to go back to the upside. I did want to comment a little bit as we got out of AMD roughly at this price. I mean, obviously it was at the 70s, but or in the 70s, 75 breaking. It's still at that same price. I actually like the long again breaking through 79. So let's see if that will work. Breaking through 79 again, just waiting to make sure we have the momentum, because just like here, man, when we had that momentum the first time it broke 79, that thing ripped all the way to 80.50. That's where we started to short it, but that was a good trade for us to get some out. We did build a little bit longer down there, which we probably should have done again. As you can see, Rivian's almost coming out as well. That takes out VWAP, and we're going to get out of Rivian. Ooh, we did get a new trade alert. Sorry, I'm going to have to sneeze here, and because it's not working, I'm going to have to mute the mic, but whenever that's ready, I will do that. There goes Bed Bath & Beyond right back down in now, so let's see where it goes back down to it. Yeah, when I don't know how I'm going to tell you, though, Lucas, that I'm about to sneeze, but that might be coming up soon. Maybe I'm okay. Anyways, what I was getting at here is that we tried to take, I think I'm fine, Lucas. I tried to take that 7 short there, and it didn't fill me until it got 97s. So we had to take it all the way down. The first retracement was back to 97. So right now we're holding short. I'm going to put something out like 91, 92 for about 20%. We'll go to 91. We'll get out for 20% of that. If the market does rip back up here, I don't really expect that to affect Bed Bath & Beyond. But as we talked about it, now that now that the 50 period is down here at 705, also with that bottom, I am looking at something like that as an out. So we didn't get the greatest fill. Let's start to take a little bit. I mean, the fill's fine. can't complain. Like the best I could have got was 99, so I got 98s. That's fine. Pretty happy with it, but it is working now. Coming back in. We'll see if we can make what we lost on this, but this is pretty slow reaction time to Bed Bath & Beyond now. I thought it, there we go, so we'll get some 91s there. Am I bidding 91s? I am. So hopefully the market will come back down, fill these 91s, and we'll be able to take a little bit of profit on this short, which is only 6 cents in the money. But hey, on a $7 stock, I mean, we're starting to make that move back down now. So the fact that we got 6 cents, $7, whatever, it's a percent in the money. Let's see if it can go down even more than that. And I don't really have a target, unfortunately. Let's just see where Bed Bath & Beyond goes from here.
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of upset about this. Like, IC breaks that 1550 for anybody watching. This thing instantly, I mean, it's not a huge move to the upside. But I was thinking, you know, pop and drop, but pop and close, and then now hold, and now just do nothing. And I'm like, well, okay, I guess my short is not gonna, maybe the short will be okay. Like, I'll take it, but now it's like less size. Like, I mean, less size for sure. But, you know, that was scalpable for sure. You make like a quick 25 cents in and out. You know, market time exposure there. You know, half a second, so you can't complain, you know, if you take the break there. But, yeah, you know, I told myself maybe I'll flip, and then no. And this thing has yet to come back through that 1550. So I guess kind of rule of thumb for myself and for anybody watching, it's like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the 6th time, like, you got to imagine that, like, some shorts are stuck. Maybe the short's not going to be as good as you think it could be. And, you know, I'll take this short if we do go back through. But, again, if we go back through and pop above, like, I'm out of that short. So it'll be a quick in and out if I'm wrong, but a potential hold, you know, for maybe a test of the 50 period or maybe even 15. I don't think that's too much to ask there. I mean, you got it, like, all this volume, all this follow through, new level break, and what we only could get 25 cents higher, and now it's just dead again, and we stopped. Like, nobody's buying the name. So I don't even really know what to expect with this name. But, you know, if we do come back through that 1550, I'll try the short again. And man, AMD, you know, still nursing the long obviously on this one. And, you know, it was looking good for a second there. It went to 78.50 exactly, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to get stopped out. And then just ripped all the way back to 78.90. I was like, okay, we're good. But no, we are right back in the exact same zone that we were in. To give you guys the idea here, this is what I'm talking about. We ripped lower, we held, so I did not stop myself out. Then we went higher. I'm like, okay, we're good. But no, now we're just kind of channeling. So, man, I don't even know what to expect here. I mean, I'm holding on to the long again. If this kind of breaks to the downside, I'm out. I just don't know what to think. It's like the upside moves are getting faded. You have the 50 period over there, but then you have the 78.50 level over there. I guess I just got to kind of go with it. You know, my bet is placed. So yeah, we'll see where that one goes.
We're not against each other anywhere, but this does remind me of Friday where we had the meta going back and forth. So I almost feel like I just should take the short in AMD just so we could relive that. But it's now with an hour left. It's power hour. So let's see if we can throw down some market shorts and or longs in this. I went short on Shopify, but look again, like I was just waiting for it to come, you know, try to get upside. Maybe we'll short a little bit if it can come into here and then eventually get out on the top there. But right now, Shopify, although the market's coming back down, remember I said we would probably test 12,000. Well, guess what exactly just happened? We tested 12,000 on the knot and then went right back up 50 points, and now you're coming back down again. So watch out for this NASDAQ 12,000. I feel like it's going to break, and if it does,
okay, that's sick. Let's go.
We have a decent amount of shorts on there for that one, so let's see if that can work out. We got part filled on Bed Bath & Beyond at 90, but I'm going to cancel that. Let's see if that wants to continue to make a move back down in. I am really, though, Luca, like I'm debating hammering this short if we break the bottom at 78.50. I know you'll be out of that one, so watch out for that coming through. What other name? We got to short something else. Meta right now. I'm not sure. This one's a tricky name. And again, like if it was up here near that 159, I think that would be more legit. But right now, the futures are breaking down a little bit. I have Shopify, I have Rivian, and I have Bed Bath & Beyond. We don't need too much else. But here comes Google back down. If that breaks 106.50 right there, let's get out of Google and reassess. But so far, so good. We're really doing well here today. It's been a big day for us. If this Shopify can just print a little lower, then we'd be pretty nice. I'm going to get it out. That bottom was 30.13, sorry. This 50 period is 11. So I'm sitting at 11 on Shopify. See if, I know it's not that much money, but let's see if we can just quickly take out 11 cents on this, because that's where that is. And I would just look foolish if it hits here and then bounces again like it just did. So at least I know this time I actually have a bid down here. So if it does hit it, maybe we get some money there. Big size showing up on AMD as well. Not big size, but someone just showed up trying to defend that 50 level for you there, Luca. But let's go back over to Neil and see what up.
Tesla's still up 1%. A lot of the EV names we've talked about been pretty strong, but it just broke this channel to the downside. 274 just got taken out. Maybe it has something to do with this. I don't know if it does at all, but Twitter has come out and said that the whistleblower never even flagged spam in the first place. So maybe that's going to weaken the case there for Elon Musk. Who knows? But there was just this channel break as it broke 274. One of the stronger names, as we said, in the market, pulling back into VWAP as we speak. Tesla. Look, if Tesla breaks VWAP, clearly with a lot of other names at the lows, you could have some more further downside here. But yeah, EVs were strong. Tesla trying to hold on.
Yeah, glad you're back, Neil, because those Tesla trades, I'm going to leave them all to you. I'm going to stay away from them for sure. But guys, the IC rug pull happened, and it's unfortunate because I literally wanted this rug pull in this same candle. We did not get it, and, it looked good. And go figure, okay, so now I'm out of my AMD, and go figure, looks good, in the money right away. I don't know if you guys heard me in the back. I'm like, wow, look at that. And held, and now it looks like it wants to reclaim the 1550. If we get back above 1550, I'm out of this one because, who knows how high this goes. Maybe it makes a run. And the action that we had above here was like some tape teleportation. So, kind of interesting there. I'll probably get stopped out on this, but, wanted to hold for that 15 test. Thought that we got the first flush down. Thought we could get the secondary flush down, break that 1520. Maybe we get it now, but it's not really acting the way that I wanted to see this thing act. But yeah, just kind of going back to the overall ideology, it's like I wanted to see it the first time. That was max size. It wasn't. I took less size. So now it's like, if it works, it's great. A little bit less size there. But always good to have winners there. And that 1550 is interesting, right? It's like that kind of pops above the level, does a bunch of volume, slams back below the level. Now, who knows? Bunch of games maybe trying to stop everybody out, including myself. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see this name at 15 before the end of the day.
Yeah, I'll review, here, this is what, I was going to show you Bitcoin quickly, but this is what I did on IC, and I'm already out of it, which, now that I see that it went a little higher, it's not the greatest out, but we got out at 15 the first time. This is my only trade today on IC, and it's going to be a good one, man. We go timber now? Nah, the other way around, man. We planting trees and growing them. Look at this, 12 bucks long down there. We got, these are all 20%, so one of our best outs there is 13.30, and then we ripped it and held it until we thought it was coming back down and took out some levels there, but didn't. You can see the barcode down there at 14.50. So that one right there is $2.85 for a winner. So IC is definitely a great stock for us here today. A lot of you talking about BITO, and you're not talking about BITO, but you're talking about Bitcoin. So is there something maybe I'm missing something in this chart, but I don't know if this barcoded at 19.5 and then broke it and just dropped all the way down. But yeah, that's a pretty dramatic move right there for BTC. Again, as I looked at this chart, it might be a little delayed. I'm not sure what happened there, but this looks like a pretty dramatic move. And maybe I'm wrong and I'll have to look somewhere else, but this started to happen about what 125 there. So let's go over and look at BITO again. This is the iShares, relatively new. Yeah, there it is right there. So it does happen. This is a relatively new instrument to trade, BITO. If you did want to look at grabbing some Bitcoin off exchange, things like that, and you want to put your money into an exchange that you trust, like an NYSE American, or there's a few different ones. There's on the pink sheets with GBTC and whatnot, and we even have some here on the NEO exchange and throughout Canada on different exchanges. But BITO, again, you can see a big move to the downside here. This is the Bitcoin trust, or ETF, I guess. Shouldn't call it a trust if it's not. But there it is, pretty dramatic move down, man. Look what happens to these stocks. This is the thing. When new products are released, it's often the end of it. So, of course, look when they release this trust, get everyone to pile into it, and then this is what happens to the downside. So you're right now back down to some key levels, 1150 on this. It just sucks that anybody holding crypto right now continues to get bled a little bit. But Ethereum holding up at 16, I believe. Yeah, it's holding up a little bit better here today. Here's the Ethereum. Oh, just broke 16 just now. Sorry, I just heard that. Close enough, yeah. So let's have a quick look. There it is right here. Let's move this over. Come on, man, move this over a little bit. So there's the high today, or that's last night, 1675. My charts are going on vacation again here, so let's go. Trying to get this all the way to the end, I don't know, but there it is right now, 16.5. I'll do it, there it is. So there's the big move again. What was announced, Neil? Like, I know I'm putting Neil on the spot again, and maybe I missed something, but like right at 1 p.m., man, everything cracked down. Like, I don't know if there was a breach on an exchange or something, but that's a big move to the downside right there. I don't know if someone liquidated some funds that, again, I'm not sure, but it's happening on both of them. And there it is, Neil just talking about crypto being at 16 for Ether as well. Let's go over there to Brendan. There, I did it again. Yo, what's up, Brendan? How you doing?
I'll take that as a compliment, man. If I'm even half filling his shoes, I'll take it, to be sure. I couldn't see anything, and I did dig. When we had that big move to the downside, it looked like it was just, from what I can tell, there was nothing that hit any of the wires that we can report, because, look, if it's not official, and I'm not seeing multiple people saying it, I don't want to bring it to our attention, but it looked like it was just a technical break of that 19.5, Sean, and then you broke support on Ethereum as well to the downside. I mean, a host of names are getting crushed. MicroStrategy broke its lows at 205, got taken out. This getting close to $200 just now. Coinbase broke 63 even. So at the same time, there was just these massive volume spikes where you had level breaks of support across the board. There was MicroStrategy right around 1 o'clock. I saw Bitcoin not hold on to that 19.5. Now Ethereum back below 16. So a series of technical breaks that might have dragged everything down at once. I feel like that MicroStrategy at 200 is going to get very spicy when that comes into play. That was down at like 140 when we recently saw some of those lows in crypto.
Yeah, God. I mean, some of those, like, when crypto moves, normally it will make sense. Like, they'll actually move on interest rates. It'll move on like some of those employment data and things like that as well. But yeah, today out of nowhere. So thanks, Neil, for that update there. And I don't know what caused that. So hard to trade something that you're not familiar with on the cause. But I am pretty familiar trading Meta. You break through 159, we're going to go long, and we're just going to hold this back. You know, again, because we are breaking key levels, right? And so that's something that, and I'm going to show you about AMD, and I feel bad that you got stopped out and to see where it is now, but I want to bring up a key point about that. So you got stopped out breaking near 50 there. Look what happened. It just went down to the bottom, broke, and then just went right back up. See, that's honestly why I got out like a half hour ago, because I knew that would happen to me. Like, if I held that for 50, man, the same thing that happened to you would have happened to me. So it's not, you know, I don't think either one of us made a bad trade. We thought AMD had a chance to go there. I didn't take too much risk on this. We got out. It's like a drop in the bucket, but at the same time, man, whenever you lose, you lose. And now look what's happening. Now it's falling right back down. So I feel like when the market trades like this, and this is what I mean, like this is called chop. Like, look what happens in the morning. It's a direct move to the downside. So we can have shots fired when that happens. And we did, man. We fired a lot of bullets. And then when we went back to the upside after basing out, we fired more bullets. And now I'm at the highest. I mean, this is going to be my best day in September. I know that doesn't mean that much because we're pretty weak in September right now. But we'll wait to see what can happen. By week, I just mean we're like 3 days in to this. So we'll see if we can get going. But I like AMD. It's got to break above. And on that note, it's a new position alert. And there it is, man. We'll take Meta. Let's go Meta. We'll take Meta long. I was fighting. Remember, I was short. This is the thing. This is what's so good about the show. I was short on Friday going against my dude over here. Now we'll go long on Meta and see if we can win this battle as well. So I'm going to do a little bit. Like, I'm honestly, again, like that 50 period is 158.70. I feel like if we break below that, we can get out. But otherwise, I'm riding with Meta. I hope you're riding with me. But 158.60, 158.70, something like that for a 50-cent hit would be sort of appropriate here. I feel like that level, that's 32. So if we can go up to 32, and again, coinciding with this little level and coinciding with VWAP, I like this trade. I'm going to put an offer right now at 159.30. See if we can grab 30 cents, because that's sort of the risk to reward on this profile right now for Meta.
Yeah, guys, you know, started that IC short, took the high day break reversal. Look at that, man. This is a real wick to the upside, and failed, and now we're going back down. And I think rug pull, man. I think rug pull to 15. Maybe you get a bounce at like the 32 area. Bids are getting slammed right now, but again, this thing is bouncing around. You're getting you know, a little bit of tape teleportation. So maybe the responsible thing is to cover a little bit, right, and kind of reevaluate your stops where they are. That's what I'm doing in real time here. But yeah, you know, that 1521 area was interesting. Yeah, if this goes back up, I think I'm just gonna have to cover. I saw some like the teleportation action is crazy on this thing.
You want to explain what teleportation means?
Yeah, sure. So let me just make sure my stop is in here. I think it's in. So let's hold the rest here and get some bids out. Yeah. So basically, tape teleportation for anybody that's watching the level 2, you might see like, you know, it's printing 1552. People are selling into it, and then all of a sudden, it's like 10 cents or like 20 cent like difference. It like jumps to the upside, jumps to the downside. So the thing is when you see that type of action happening, you got to imagine that, like, you know, this thing could go against you like that at any moment, right? So it's like even it could work in your favor, it could work against you. Anything's possible. It means that liquidity is not as good as it could be. You know, it means that algos are involved, and when you obviously algos are always involved, but when you see these very sharp moves in one direction or the other, you know, as a human, maybe you're not going to have that much of edge. So I loosely say tape teleportation, and then I kind of structure my trade a little bit tighter,
Yeah, there we go. Polkaroo saying, yeah, what the is teleportation? Yeah, I knew what you meant by it, but I just wanted to get our viewers, you know, used to that. And part of it just comes from reading the tape, right? I mean, that's what we do here a lot of the time is you just watch the velocity and you watch to see exactly where these prints are coming from. Because you know what? Like sometimes I'll be offering right now, like I am doing, I'm offering 28s on Meta, and then like the level will look like this, and then all of a sudden I'll just get the 28 fill. It's because somebody is basically marketing in and wiping out all these levels, and sometimes you actually get the execution before these levels even disappear. Like that's just how fast some of these systems are. And look, I kind of have, it's kind of like, it's not a sore point for me, but it is one of those things where it's like, hey, you know, sometimes you get wicked out when those things can happen. So you got to be very careful about that. Oh my God, there's another one. There's another new trade alert right now. We go long on Mullen. So here goes Mullen breaking through 66 cents. So wow, we busy, boy. We got Google, which is $1 in the money. Let's go on that one. We've got Bed Bath & Beyond. That's a whopping 3 cents in the money. We've already taken some profits. Let's see if that can go in. We've got Meta going to the upside right now. What am I even doing? That's 15 cents in the money. We have Rivian running it short. That's $1.20 in the money on the short side. And then we have Shopify as well right now, trying to make lows, but I don't know. I'm going to average in on that. If it comes to 25, we just missed that. We'll average in on that and see if it comes back in. But see, now look, Meta was just 30 cents in the money, and there it comes right back down to flat again. So just be careful with your orders. But we are trying to tape teleport here, Mullen. So let's see if that one can go back up to the upside. We got a great fill on that, breaking through 66. So let's see where Mullen goes from here. First offer, hey man, let's take out a penny on Mullen if we can. I mean, the whole day's range, we've just gone up like 5 pennies there, not even from 63 to 66. So we'll take a piece out. We got lots on board here, so nothing to worry about. Let's take a piece out on Mullen and see if it can continue its move up on possible rumors. And again, you never really want to like buy rumors or anything like that, but you know, hopefully it can match with this, and we'll go upside here on Mullen. First out near 67, guys.
Yeah, you know, let me just quickly comment on this IC. I think the good examples across the board. You know, I love learning from each other. I learn from you guys. You guys pull up chats and everything. So, you know, I'm sharing my mistakes and what works well in real time. Had the top short there. That was really good. That was like decent amount of size. And the reason, and I said, I'm going to hold for targets. But the thing is like, if it's not, like, it's like volume really just died, right? And we still are in that uptrend. You got the 50 period right here. This is kind of where I thought maybe we're going to kind of break down. It's that 15-20 area, and I want to believe like if we kind of go lower, break 15-20, we could easily see like a flash down to 15. But the thing is we held, we went a little bit sideways, then we broke again. I'm like, okay, now we should be going, right? And here's the thing, as a day trader, I'm not saying that I know what I'm doing, but I'm saying that, you know, if I'm sitting here and putting in like 2,000 hours a year or whatever it is, like I should be able to say like, oh, it should go now, and if it doesn't, then it's not a part of my plan. So this is something that I'm working on for myself and I'm getting better at, but it's like I'm watching this 1550. It looks like it's about to roll over and slam down for the second time because remember, this is like kind of the death candle. Did a lot of volume, made a new high, couldn't get above. People are stuck here. Leg down, little bit of sideways consolidation, then we should be seeing the next leg down. Because I did not see the next leg down, I covered a little bit over here. And then if this thing wants to just go sideways and do nothing, and if it holds trend, and as soon as it touches that 50 period, there's a chance that it then tries to go for another high. And if that's the case, I don't want to be in all the size. I'll take the small win. So, you know, this kind of goes back to the theory of, like, a lot of people will tell you this, like, take what the market gives you. Sometimes it gives you 30 cents, sometimes it gives you a halt, and then you're laughing like straight into the money. So, you know, I thought there was potential with this. I thought maybe we could flush to 15. We didn't, so I had to get out. I had to take my win. 25 cents, whatever. It is what it is. Not too bad. Pad the stats. And holding the last piece for the move now, like, much more comfortable. And you know what? We're probably going to get the move now because now I have no size left. So, you know, that is day trading. Everybody wants to be a trader until, you know, these things happen. And then it's like, yes, okay, I'm starting to see here. So, yeah, maybe cover just a little bit more right here.
Everybody wants to step into the ring until they get punched in the mouth. Right there, but yeah, that's day trading for you, man, and good analysis. And that's the problem right now with what I'm noticing here in the afternoon is like, man, like these stocks, they don't want to go. But look what we just did here on Shopify. We reloaded that at 25 and then took a piece out as it came right back down to 19. So just sort of scalping this as much as we can right now as we're trying to play tops and bottoms. And on that note, I mean, Meta, boom, right there to VWAP, man. We take 30 cents, and that one's going to be like, yeah, buddy, let's not be too piggy here and make sure that we do take out some profits. That's a brutal one as that goes back up to the upside. So, yeah, like this is amazing that we have right now 6 positions, 3 long, 3 short, baby. And there it is right there. Let's go. Sired alert. Come on, Mullen. Let's get going, buddy. We take some out at 67. Let's see if Mullen can fly here. Good little trade for us. Upside movement. Yeah, buddy. Let's go Mullen. And also, let's go Google right now as... Don't know why we hit that one, but there goes Google. Nicely done to the upside as well. We're cooking with gas on this one, Luca. That's a nice little dollar in the money for us right now as well. Meta continuing to go. Bed Bath and Beyond, we did take a little bit out there at 94. Oh man, this sucks. Like, we have a decent position, so we can make some money even by taking 4 pennies, but no, our best out's 90 there and didn't continue to go lower. I'm gonna wait for that. Otherwise, this has come all the way down. I'm trying to hold this to 705, so I mean, I don't think this looks like a great trade right now, but hopefully it still can. That's Bed Bath & Beyond. Our Rivian, honestly, is putting me to sleep. We have our out if it takes 75. I don't even want anything to do with this unless it goes to the downside. I'm not averaging in, and Shopify's not doing much. So I think we just reviewed everything. Mullen, let's look at this one more time here because, you know, maybe... Like, I don't know. Do we take 2 pennies? I mean, look, everything's going to be your own style. We talked about that with me and Luca going opposite there a little bit. 68, 69. I mean, if anything, I feel like this is from the 31st, so just a couple trading days ago. You know, that 73 top is pretty nice. You did wick up. Like, sometimes if you don't catch some of these moves, man, it goes there and comes right back. Like today, here's 67. We just got out there, and now it's trying to come back. Is that 67 going to be the top again? That was actually 68. So let's put another bit of shares at 68. I'm trying to hold out for these kind of levels, man. 72, 73. Let's see if we get there with M-U-L-N, Mr. N-E-A-L. What's up?
There it is, spelling it correctly. We don't always talk about natural gas here, but cold, which is the ultra short ETF for natural gas, exploding just now to the upside, breaking the highs. A bit of a dollar move. Big break from 13 up to 14 here, so that is the ultra short, obviously. So move to the upside, meaning the reverse. Always worth mentioning when we have big moves in natural gas or in crude oil futures there, and can't ignore that one as it's a big mover. I just got myself into, and I'll have to do it this way. It's a little bit different changing symbols here when I'm in Brandon's seat, but Tesla just made a bit of a wick top test at 276 right at the high of the day, just touched off that 76 high and now starting to pull back in. So it gets up to the top, cannot break the top. I'm seeing exactly 276 even as the current high of the day for Tesla, but it is reversing off those highs. So nat gas moving one way, Tesla coming back. Sorry, coal, the ultra short, moving one way to the upside. Tesla coming back down to earth after testing the high of the day.
Yeah, Tesla definitely coming back in as we watch Mullen as well. A lot of things coming back in. I mean, there goes Rivian, there goes Shopify, things starting to fall back down. Oh,
okay.
On that note, boo, we'll hit the siren alert as well. So there's Meta. Like, I'm like, why? Like, things are moving, but my net's not changing. It's because we're making money on Rivian and Shopify, and unfortunately, there goes Meta. So look, this is the risk to reward I'm talking about. I only got out of a third there. You might have heard me just say that. So up to VWAP right there off 159, that's 30 cents. Back down, we just lose our 20 cents there, or 25 cents on the way back as it takes down 75. And again, yeah, trying to be like, honestly, like as stingy with these trades as possible. Like, I don't want to lose big, and at the same time, I'm not afraid to say I want to win big, but hey, like when it's not there, it's not there. We took some out and was trying to hold for that big top. Doesn't happen, so we get out. No skin off said teeth on that trade. All right, what? Where am I on this? I should be getting filled soon. Ooh, are you kidding? 67, okay, here we go. Hopefully this rips up to the upside. I am like fractions, literally, when we're talking about this. And again, there it is. Yes, sir. Let's go, man. There's Mullen right there, breaking it out back up to the upside. So let's go, Mullen. New position alert. We hit that for you. Let's go, Mullen. Here it goes back up. I'm also sitting at 69er again. Maybe we'll just cancel that. Let's go into the 70s on Mullen. A nice little trade to the upside here. Like I said, starting to break, starting to make a little bit of cash on this position. Let's see where Mullen goes. Again, a 66 high of daybreak, going back up to the upside. Hit the like button, man. My guy over here trading IC. I'm on Mullen. Like, no matter your style today, I'm short Bed Bath & Beyond. I've already ripped IC. This guy's already on IC. AMD today. Google's being ripped up. Intel, great trade on Intel. Meta, but we still traded it. Rivian, boom. Shopify. So, I mean, hit the like button. I think we're doing a hell of a good job covering most of your names, and I'll try to get that there on the chat as well. But thank you for all the help. Thank you to Bears vs. Bulls as well for keeping it real on the chat. Now, let's see if we get some more upside go here. I'm going to get something out at 69, and then we'll wait to see what happens at 72. That's sort of my next target here for M-U-L-N, Mullen.
Yeah, guys, you know, somebody quickly mentioned before, they're like, oh, Luca, AMD, and then laugh aloud. I was like, man, I know, like, it's like so dumb. Like, literally, I'm in this trade, we're looking good, and look at this, I punch out at the bottom, and this was my worry, and this is why I didn't want to, like, stop myself out over here. And Sean made a good point. He's like, look, I'm getting out over here, because it's probably going to go over here, I'm probably going to do this, and then it's going to do this, I'm going to be more upset with myself. And here I am, punching out, and as soon as I got out, they were like, we got him, let's go. And like flip back to the upside, nice 50-cent move back to the upside. But here's the thing, I got out, and I'm kind of happy that I did get out, because it's like, what is this action? What is this sideways action? Is 78.50 a solid level, or are we going to come in tomorrow and this thing is like at 77.80 and that's it, it's fallen to 75? So I don't know, there's a bidder who's reloading constantly on this name. And it's not like size that you can play off at all. It's size that's, you know, it's coming up, it's getting filled right away. So, you know, AMD, I'm not really, you know, gonna beat myself up for getting out of that one, but sometimes it do be like that. Sometimes you just gotta punch out of the bottom. Like, I thought because we held over here, we're gonna be good, but then, you know, it just had to come down, get me out, and then get here. But again, my targets were way up here anyways, so it is what it is, whatever, you can't win them all. And yeah, I see short just to kind of come back here. And somebody was saying, yeah, Luca, very selective with his positions. That's the thing, man. I'm a sniper, and you know, having a good time. I have a very, very broad watch list, but I really want to see these things come into play. I want to see the levels. I'd rather hit it for size, get in, get out, make my money. And I see kind of weird action. I thought for sure over here, okay, now we're gonna flush, but this thing is doing the exact opposite. So again, I am holding the piece. You know, with my targets being like 15, like 18, and it's not like, I mean, it's kind of just like, I feel like it just feels right, like 15 being the even dollar, and then the bottom of this range being like 14.60. So it's like maybe not too much to ask that if now we topped out, if this is high a day clear out, which I don't even know if that, I mean, maybe it makes sense, but now we're below the 50 period, you know, kind of feels like maybe the stars are aligned, the short is gonna be good, you just gotta give it some time here. But again, you know, if this inches higher for whatever reason, I'm out of this. And I'll take my, I have a good average. I think it's like 15.75 or something. So looks good. Probably get that 15 test, and then 14.60 being like super aggressive. But for the last portion, I like to be super aggressive. You know, like it's you know, make everything, or what's the worst case scenario? It maybe comes down here, comes back up, and I get out over there anyway. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Just kind of revisiting everything else on my board here. Something else I wanted to talk about. I think I spoke about this morning, just with Apple very quickly. This is what we discussed, right? We discussed that that kind of 156 area being the 50 period moving average. And the thing is this, right? It looks like it's riding it. Then it dips below, quickly reclaims, and now it's back below. So the thing is, a lot of the times you're going to have to let these things breathe. You know, if you're looking at the daily from a swing trade perspective, it is a swing trade, right? It's like, oh, the 50 period. You could trade it from a day trade perspective, but you got to imagine these types of whips. And here it is, right? Playing the bounce, thinking that maybe we go up. But no, the overall market just fell, so I was wrong. I tried it again in front of 155 just because, you know, 155 held so many times. Finally broke, and here's the thing, right? If you see a level 155, it's a support level, it looks good for so long, then we break, we dip below, and we come back above. It's almost as if this did not even happen, right? It's like we went down, we're back up, and now we're back below. And this was like the unexpected action. Like, look at this very sharp move to the downside, and then sharp move back to the upside. So, you know, call it what you want to call it liquidity vacuum, call it, you know, level in and out type thing, over under. It is what it is, but, you know, you have that flash down. Sometimes when you get the flash down and it's on the way back up, if you are longer, if you're thinking maybe the long might be good, look for the flash back up, because, you know, you had that kind of gap. Very, very short term from 155 to like 154.80, just a 20-cent gap. But definitely like an area that, you know, maybe this is a starter position for the move back towards like that pre-market high area. That's kind of how you could structure your trades, your ideas. I thought it was a good example. You know, I was kind of slow to catch that because I was on AMD. But I think just overall, that overall logic of like, look, this is where the 50-period moving average is. You got to imagine that if we break, you're going to get the flash down, you're going to get the flash up. Things kind of subside and create themselves, and then go from there. So will be interesting to see what happens going into the rest of the week. I mean, are we going to hold these levels, or is this kind of like a good selling point?
I like it. I like that talk. We've been making some money while you've been talking, but we're going to go over to Neil, check out what he's looking at.
Looking at PetQ here, PetIQ at the high of the day, testing $10. This morning, they did announce a 30 million share repurchase program after moving strongly to the upside. Bit of a double top here. Well, I mean, you can call it a triple, quadruple top if you want, but the $10 level, a big one. They have a huge gap to be filled if you get through that 10 on the daily. Just another big runner, PetQ. I'm also noticing LTHM making some moves to the upside. There didn't see anything really definitive on the news as to why that just broke a little bit. But PetQ and LTHM showing signs of strength going into the close here.
All right. We like that. 330 getting into the close. That's what we want to look for. We talked about finding names that are actually moving, which is why, honestly, like we hit Mullen there. And look, there's actually, you can see there's actually two outs right here. One basically right at 69 and then one at 68.80 there to the downside. So we'll see if it can hold, but a couple more outs. We're out of 40% of Mullen. Hopefully it can make a move back to the upside, but look what's happening now as it starts to get faded out. Remember what we said, like you never want to buy a ton of this because you feel like there's an Apple rumor, like, you know, so just be careful about said rumors running around there. And yeah, we have our targets. We're going to get out here. We put if it breaks back down too much lower than 65 and we want to get out of Mullen. So let's see if that can hold. I think it'll still be a winner. If we get out at 65, it'll be pretty close, but we'll wait to see if that can come through. Hopefully we don't have to worry about it. Bed Bath & Beyond, again, these are the names that we're talking about when we went to break there. That's coming in a little bit, printing 90s. Our Shopify trade is just like, yeah, buddy, on that one. We'll throw down some money like that for Shopify, although it's not super pretty. It's the trade of the day because banged there was a huge one for us, and we try to go short again today. As right now, here we go. You are taking down some levels now. 30.10 just got hit there. So you are trying to break down. Our best out on this trade is right here at 30.10. Okay, shawty, come to the party. Nice move to the downside. Give me that. I'm at 06. Did I just get filled there or what? Yes, sir. There it is again. Beating up on some of these names today. Let's go as we take that down now on Shopify. And yeah, all is well in Camp Katina right now. Downside move here. We're in 4 to 5 positions and they're all cruising right now. Bed Bath & Beyond, trying not to look back at 7. Google, still 70 cents in the money, but this 106.50 is staring me in the face. We only have 10% of this left. This is cruising. I'm not worried about it, but if it takes it down, then we're out of that. Mullen, this one, again, happy because we took the profit. Let's see where we go. Rivian, peace on Rivian today as that one, man, really took its toll on the market early. We were losing on this. And now, nepa, as we approach 33 bucks again. Remember, I was like, hey, if we get this level, watch out for the breakdown. So let's see if Rivian wants to, hold up its end of the promise there, going down below 33. And we already talked about Shopify, just took that out. This here is 92, 93. So let's stick something about 95 in case we get that break. We still have shares on board, man. We can definitely watch this go. But there's the review of me, and it's been a pretty good day so far. So, hey, let's go. I know you're still a little bit bitter about your IC there.
Yeah, so just to revisit this, and this is me in real time. Again, guys, this is why I will always say trade your own book, because things change, man, in real time. I mentioned that 1520. I thought like we get there, we're gonna get another rug. We go for like the 15 break. So I'm in the shares already, and then I say to myself, wait a second. I talk myself into adding size on the break, thinking, what's the worst that could happen? It either goes down or it comes back, and I get out for flat. And the thing is, though, I still wanted to hold some of the portion for the move. And I have this bad habit of like, I cover it all because I'm like, oh, I got to get out. I get out, and then I'm just like, oh, well, that's not what I wanted to do. So, yeah, I'm out of this trade, but I kind of wish I was still in it. Maybe add it back. But I didn't even notice. It's actually 3:30. Man, time flies when you're having fun.
Late.
Sour hour, I guess. That rejection on the ES here. And here's another good point, too. It's like we come up, we reject very slowly. This one looks a little stronger, rejection, and then everyone's like, okay, I guess we're going back down. So, back down. And again, sorry, this is NASDAQ, but ES, very, very same thing, rejecting off that VWAP there. So, yeah, I guess call it what you want. Call it, sour hour, adding size, parental discretion advised. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Definitely interesting there. But, 30 minutes left, so I wouldn't be. What's the value of this company? IC market cap. Let's just quickly take a look here because I need to refresh my memory. Like, is this gonna rug or like what are we doing here? Market cap. Oh, this is a $2 billion. Okay.
What?
So it's a $2 billion market cap, guys. So I'm here trading this thing thinking like we're flushing, we're going into a rug, we're going into a halt. No, we're not. We're not. I know the float's big, but I totally forgot it was a $2 billion market cap there. So, yeah, manage your expectations, understand these things. It's very good to know these things in advance, obviously. It's Polkaroo, Luca Rambles. I get off on tangent. Just remind me, man. Just remind me, because, coming with that, now that I'm flat, I'm just like, okay, reevaluate these things here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this market's really kind of selling off. Maybe it wants that 3,900 test here.
Yeah. You want me to ban Polkaroo? We can.
No. It's just like because he makes a good point. He's like, Luca Rambles, and sometimes I'm like explaining these things to myself.
That's part of it.
And then I'm just like, oh yeah, you guys are listening to this. Oh yeah.
That's part of it. I mean, honestly, like we like all of our fans, fellow traders. Ridiculous. Oh, by the way, so I was in the Uber going to Wu-Tang concert. Wu-Tang and Nas, they killed it, by the way. Was amazing. And I pick up my phone. My brother called because we were making plans for the draft the next day for him to come over. So I just started talking because normally don't like to be on the phone. So I quickly let him go after a couple minutes. And then anyways, the Uber guy turns around to me and he goes, I know you from somewhere. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. And then anyways, super nice guy. So shout out to Akram. He wants to apply here. We talked all about work and everything like that. And you know what? True story, man. True story. And he said like he felt blessed for me to be in his Uber. I said completely the other way around, man. Thank you for doing what you do. And he said, you know what? He started watching our show, and because of Trader TV Live, I don't know if he was just saying this or not, but he's a new immigrant to the country. And it's actually, I'm not going to tell his story because it is what it is. But anyways, little bit of sadness. But the point is that he bought the car that I was riding in with the money that he made trading off of Trader TV Live. And he said that it wasn't like, that we announced one of the trades and he took it. It was just, he said he was watching the sticky note, he was watching the key levels, and he did take some trades, and he was able to pay off that car with that. So big shout out to you, my friend, and we'd love to have you come on the floor. He sent me since his number and everything, so I definitely didn't forget. And even when I was in the Uber, I was like, make sure we joined each other's friends there on Twitter. Is it called friends? I don't know what it's called on Twitter, but anyways, shout out to you, my man. Hopefully you're watching right now and love to have you on the floor. I'm going to try to organize that, but that goes back to the point of rambulation there. You have to ramble on because I want everybody to understand Luca's a relatively new trader, but still pretty seasoned actually. And some ideas that we have aren't going to be gold, but I feel like the process behind them is what you really got to learn. So that's just something meant a lot to me to have that guy in the Uber and just say stuff like that. So, meanwhile, my wife is like, oh God, here we go. Like now Sean's going to be talking business the whole way. And he was very, very respectful, and we didn't even do that. So shout out, it was a great time. And thanks to my parents for watching the kids, man. We lit it up at that concert, boy. That was a really fun time.
That's amazing, yeah. And funny story, actually, I was going for a walk just on Friday.
Oh, yeah,
I think Brad was telling the story, and somebody was like, Luca? And I'm like, I look back, and I was like, I don't think I recognize anybody here. And he's like, Luca? He's like, yeah, I just got to shake your hand. I watch you guys all the time. I'm short Netflix. Hopefully it goes well. And this was when the market was above 4,000. Before it fell off.
You tried, Fahad.
And I was like, man, good luck, man. Nice to meet you. Like, what a nice guy. He's like, yeah, I'm trading on the go. I'm doing Uber Eats. Hopefully Netflix plays out. I was like, best of luck, man. I don't know if you're watching right now, but I literally come back and I tell everyone, and we're all like having a laugh, and like Branko's in the back. He's like, you're a star. And I was like, no, come on. And I'm just joking around. But yeah, and get back to the desk, and Free Fall Friday comes into play. So was good. Everything fell. Netflix was down, and I was like so happy, man, because I'm like, oh, like thank God that worked out. And shout out to Pratt for that, because I mean he came on and the market just to the downside. So yeah, definitely interesting there, and always nice to meet new people, and that's kind of, I mean, it's so nice, man. I love you guys in the chat. Always much love, and I am a relatively new trader. It's been a year and a half now, trading full time, watching the charts, watching the tape. Something to be said about screen time. If you are a new trader, you want to get the reps in. It's like the gym. You guys can ask Sharif tomorrow. I mean, like when you start, you got to start small. You got to get the reps, and you got to see the same thing, build that muscle memory, and then over time, it kind of comes together and things start to make a little bit more sense. Going back to my IC trade, the short side, it's like we should have really sold off here, and we did. And I was like, like what's going on here? Why are we not selling off? I'm used to seeing it sell off. And I covered, and again, I don't hate myself for covering, because look at this chop action. So that I want to attribute that to like getting the reps in, like trust your process and do it over and over again. Build good habits, and good things will happen. And it does get easier. Well, I shouldn't say it gets easier. It gets harder actually, but you get better.
Now you're, some guy here. What's up, Junior? When are you guys coming to San Diego? We're like movie stars. Nah. I don't think so. But it was great to see the playmaker in Miami. He's talking to me. He's like, oh man, you're like, the coolest guy I've met, like the famous guy I've met. I'm like, what? Like famous guy? And then he's showing me pictures with his arms around Vince Vaughn and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, you met Vince Vaughn. Like what am I? But I did spend a little bit of time there talking with him. So shout out. I believe we had Neil a while ago. Do we, Fahad? Do you want to go over there? Yeah, let's go over to Neil quickly. What's up?
A couple of things might have come and gone here. APGN breaking and coming back off 7, but it did have significant volume. And then Twitter just now making a strong break at 38.50 towards the high of the day. Kind of a funky story here, but it turns out that potentially shortly before Musk made his deal on hold tweet, he was in touch with banker Bob Steele. So that's, I guess, being seen as a bit of a positive for Twitter's case there. So the motivations as to why he might have got cold feet. Twitter wasn't doing a heck of a lot, but it certainly moved just there to the upside, breaking out 38.5 there. So watch out for Twitter, showing some signs of strength. Tesla had pulled back, covered that trade, the short side, for about $1, but that was pretty strong at one point. Now Twitter showing strength.
All right, yeah, that's what we've got, the good stuff over there on the desk. Thank you, Neil, for that. Meanwhile, let's go, man. Shout out to Playmaker. I see you in the chat there. Very kind words. Thank you, my friend. There it is right now, Shopify. Let's go. This is what we're doing, man. Diamond hands. Let's see how far we can have the move down here on Shopify. And then just so you guys know, I am now out of half of Mullen, as it doesn't want to break through 69. So, hey, why not, man? We're there to play with that. Up to 69 right there. Got out. Boom for Mullen. Let's just see, even if it retraces back now, we cannot lose on this trade. APDN, I saw some of you in the chat talking about that one. And again, I apologize. We all apologize. There's so many names going on. It's not like we avoid trying to go over some of these, but APDN, a nice move up to 340, 333 there early on in the pre-market. It really hasn't done much since. Kind of bar-coded, making those bottoms. 285, looking at 3 again. APDN. that bottom of 280. Let's see if it holds for APDN. But if you're looking at a daily chart, or I guess this is a daily chart, I was going to say maybe a 20-minute, big move down, blasted to the upside. Still never going to forget some of those shorts that we were talking about before, 6, 7, 8. We've already seen these levels again, so it's not a surprise that we're all the way back down here. But we are holding that 260 bottom, so APDN, one of those names, continues to go. And by the way, Rivian off that short is now $1.70 in the money and still trying to go. So we'll watch out for Rivian there. And you know what, man? The strong name, honestly. Ooh, what? 87s there on Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm at 86. Okay, so we'll see if it can come back down. But Bed Bath & Beyond made a move again, did make a move to 7 and then fell again. Oh, we missed that bottom. We're going to sit at 90, man. We may just be able to get this. There's only 8 minutes left now, Luca, until we chill because the imbalances are going to come out and then we'll see what we do from that. But imbalances coming out in 8 minutes.
Yeah, you know, what I'm blown away. I came in today, I was kind of tired in the morning, and you know, time flies when you're having fun. People talking about nat gas short. Not really a commodity guy. I don't even actually know the symbol there, but I'm sure it's moving crazy based off the kind of geopolitical landscape there. And Sean will pull that up in a second here. But there's something else that I wanted to talk about. Somebody's saying boil. Let me quickly take a look at this one here.
Boil?
Boil? No.
Oh, boil.
No, never mind.
That stock's boiling right now.
Yeah, no. I'm just kind of going over my board here, and you know, it's a good day when I see green across the board. So you know, pretty happy with my performance from the day. But again, not to just toot my own horn, guys. Spero fell off a cliff. Like this thing, I thought there was potential. I even tried a little bit of a long here, thinking maybe, you know, it's got the juices, but you know, then I was like, no, this thing's done. Like the short is probably good, and you know, after the halt. And this is the thing, right? Good example. It's like you have the halt level, it opens down, it rejects that level, and it took some time, but then boom, boom. Like, you know, you could have got out like 115, 120 area. Not too bad of a move, you know, 20-cent scalp, you know, is what it is.
Yeah, all right, so just quickly here, I just wanted to quickly talk about nat gas. So it's the same, just for you, our oil is CL, so here on our system, our nat gas is NG. So you can quickly look at that there. Yeah, nat gas. This is that monster move that I was talking about that's been happening to nat gas. So there it is today. It's down that 7%. Like I said, Russia's about to turn everything off to Europe. So I don't like the short, but it is playing short right now. We just ripped back from July from 530 all the way to $10. So you want to talk about oil's move and things like that. I mean, nat gas is definitely on one back up to the upside. It's why I keep staying long. It's not why. I mean, I'm still, you know, not somewhat, I am a bull here on the energy market moving forward. It's why I still stay long on XLE and keep trying to buy dips on these names, which we've been doing. I was talking about it when we got down here. There's ZEO in Canada that I like a little bit better because I just had more Canadian funds at the time. So that's why I'm looking at that one. But down here to $70, XLE continues to work despite oil being all the way down here, down to $86, which I still like oil back at 85. So why not buy it at 86? You tell me why not. But right there, you know, XLE's still holding out pretty good, man. Oil's down here, XLE's up here. So energy continues to be pretty strong. All right, just some talk on Bed Bath & Beyond. Look, tomorrow's a new day, right? We're coming into the close now. So I'm honestly, like, what is this level? 703, I'm changing my out. It's just, I was gonna give it to like 715 up here, but we've already cashed out. We only have, 25%, a little under 25% left on Bed Bath & Beyond. That last move down, we took advantage at 91. Then we just took some at 94. Missed that 87 bottom for sure, and it just ticked 90 that we missed as well. So I'm gonna get out if it breaks back above 703. So like 704, we'll get out of that, and we'll just get out of everything that we have and see if we can't just sort of finish that trade. This one will be a positive trade. Like I said, we don't have much left, but we like that 7 break. I thought it would be a little more dramatic than that. It wasn't. So we're going to give it up to here, 703, 704. As Niels came with the imbalance there, I believe. Yeah, okay. 82 million was the buy side on the imbalance locator. Okay, so Neil just yelling over there, over on the not even on my earpiece, just I could hear him. 83 million now to buy. So spice level on that, minus 1,000 Scovilles. So that's a -1. That's like a Brendan Ranch dip. So, right, you know how ranch can be a little bit spicy? Like,
Yeah, a little
it's
bit.
not, but this is like, that's what the number is. It's a Brendan Scoville unit ranking. So I think that we could actually have some fun on the show and actually build that level. But right now the imbalances, I would say, is at the spice of ranch dressing.
Yeah, I'm still watching this AMD.
That's a very precise
That's
thing as well.
That's super precise.
You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to get as exact as possible on that one. So, all right, only 3 minutes to go. Sorry about that, Luca.
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of looking at everything, and I've been out of position ever since I covered that IC, and I'm looking back because someone's like IC pop, and I was like, no way. Look at this thing, and this is the thing, right? It's like you're in the money, just take it, right? Scalpers market, you got the win. Last thing you want to do is hold this against you. Now you're like out of the money, right? So when it pays you, just take that money. We got 3 minutes to go till imbalances come out here. And I'm just kind of looking across the board. It's, go figure. AMD spent so much time in this range. Hopefully somebody was range trading this because this thing just paid the bills. I mean, long here, cover, short, back down. I kind of gave up after that one and just let it go. And now I'm just kind of chilling, waiting to see what are we getting on these imbalances. Kind of muted. I mean, like 80, what was it, 83 million buy.
Exactly.
It's nothing.
Ranch spicy.
Yeah, it's not nothing crazy. Like things kind of slow, extra slow, but definitely a good start. Good start. I want to say that this is the start of the month. Like last week was good, but let's just write that off, and let's just say that this is the start of the month. Everyone's back at their desk. Big money moves, and a great way to start the month. Exciting, and we'll see what we get for the rest of the week as well.
No, you are. I mean, this is the start of the month. I mean, it's after Labor Day. Everybody's coming back now. So, yeah, for sure, people back at their desks. Not Brendan. He'll be back next week as Luca's doing a hell of a job filling in for us, for everybody here. And we had some great midday show. And thanks to Neil for working that desk as well. Because no Neil, the watch list, all these breaking stories, don't get reported. So thanks for that. Good job on that. Okay, so yeah, only 2 minutes left. This is the imbalance locator right here. We've talked about this over and over again. You'll see some moves coming up at 9. These are 9:29.59 because they all went off at 9:30. And then we'll wait to see what happens here at 3:50 when they sort of get spicy, like I said. But with Neil's prognostication, and again, he's just reading the number from Financial Juice, they get a little bit of an early look. I guess they just kind of added up. There are early looks on the floor of the NYSE, and that look right now is 83 million shares to buy. I always say shares. Notional value to buy, so that's not much. We're actually looking at Bs in order for it to get interesting, or high hundreds of millions. So right now today, I mean, I'm impressed that you and I were able to find some winning trades. Shout out to Luca right now, man. He's having a big day to the right of me here. So great trading on IC and great trading on AMD today. So we're here to make money, and I'm glad that we are today. So let's just stick with this. I'll sort of ramble on for about 45 seconds as we wait for that number to come up. I will pull it back down. Rivian right now, you're at this. I mean, look, if Rivian comes out a buy, this thing probably shoots up. I'm okay with that. We're lighter on it, but we sort of had it melt all the way down here. Let's see if that can continue to make a move down. Rivian right now, $1.80 in the money. Shopify, kind of the same talk here. And the imbalance is going to come out. We just took a piece out down here. This is a trade that I put on for you and reloaded it, so you knew I was somewhat confident on that. I'm not expecting Mullen to do anything, but again, we emptied a lot of this out up top, so hopefully that can go. And then Bed Bath & Beyond, we already have our targets. With only 7 seconds to go, we'll promise to show you this. So here's the symbol, here's this, and here's the NASDAQ. 1, and now we're out on this. So there it is right now. Google, I just saw a flash in there with the sell imbalance. So I think Neil's going to come with a bigger sell side number. NVIDIA sell side down right now. You can see what's happening to NVIDIA. Maybe I'll try to zoom this in just a little bit there so we can see. So there's NVIDIA, 135.35 goes down about 40 cents there on that release. Google goes down. Just waiting to see what this imbalance number is. 106.70, so that goes down about 30 cents. Still trying to go. What else do we see on here that anybody likes? Polestar, maybe? Man, I can't. This name, when it turns SPAC, that was a huge short, man. They all are. Whoa, I don't know why I ignored this. Ford with a 4, I was just looking for sells there. Ford with a 4 million share buy, but you could see Ford holding my beer at this point. So there it is, Luca, man, not much to say. 3M, hold on, let's just wait on 3M. 3M had that lawsuit the other day where the judge came out and said they could not declare bankruptcy on their inner ear unit. I don't know what that unit is exactly, but they came as a 1.25 million sell, and it's not moving as well. Yeah, exactly. Neil just came with $1 billion to sell, so it does create a little bit of an actionable event on the market. So 1 billion shares to sell, probably worth holding on to some of these shorts. So it did come a little bit exciting there due to Google and Nvidia, I believe, on the short side.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of looking over here as well. I don't really see much. Sometimes you see these kind of crazy size come up, sometimes not. And two, I think it was Scott Crane was asking, how does the imbalance work? So it is an auction, right? At the end of the day, it is an auction. It's a closing auction. At the beginning of the day, you have the opening auction. At the end of the day, you have a closing auction. And essentially what's happening is the market makers are trying to balance off their books. So there's buyers, there's sellers. They take that order flow. They have the pair volume. So let's say, they've paired 100 shares and they're like, oh, but there is still 100 shares to buy. So they post that and give 10 minutes because they're basically looking for offsets, right? So it's like you got portfolio managers that are like, oh, wow, I was looking for a great opportunity to sell Ford stock. And would you look at that? It's actually a buy of 3.6 million shares. So they hit that. They send their order through. It pairs off. For the most part, these things, by the end of the day, they get paired. But it is an auction, right? Keep that in mind, right? It is an auction. You got the opening auction, the closing auction, definitely exciting. Sometimes, interesting things happen. Sometimes not. It's like anything else. You got to look at everything. And speaking of everything else, I see, because this is not real. Like, we did not go to 1631. I don't think we did. There's no way that's real. Someone confirm if that's real. But we inched up. And I was like, are we going for the high of day?
Real.
That's not real. No, but we actually got to 85s, though. I saw 85s, and I was like, we actually printed 85s. Like, I thought this short was going to be so money. I thought we were going to be at 1460 by now. But no, this is holding. I'm looking back at the daily on this thing because, man, like, is this just going to have, like, 2-day continuation? I'd probably die off tomorrow. Like, we'll see what happens. But, kind of interesting. I mean, this thing felt so good, and how bad does that look? Adding to the short at the bottom. This is why, sometimes do not add max size short at the bottom. This is a break-even trade for me. I'm lucky on that one. Could have had some tape teleportation for sure and been offside very quickly. So, is what it is. But nevertheless, still a good day. Locking in the profits. We got about 7 minutes to go here. And I'm having a great time. Hopefully you guys are as well. And I'll ask, hit the like button because we're at 938. And there's no way we close off this show sub a K. Like, there's no way. Like, hit that like button. Bang your trades. Great day, hopefully you guys had a great long weekend, full of ice cold beers and barbecues. And things are going well and hopefully continue to go well.
All right, let's quickly go to Neil with a couple minutes left.
I don't see anything new, but for what it's worth, DWAC just made a $2 break to the upside, 21s to 23s. It looks like right here. I was just double checking. The last piece of news I see is the adjournment of the special meeting to provide additional time to approve an extension of its initial business combination deadline, which I saw that reported earlier. So I'm not sure why that dropping on the wires a little bit later is going to cause a move when it's already hit. But DWAC, just kind of popping off 10% moves out of absolutely nowhere as we head into the end. We'll get it out of the way. There's not actually a heck of a lot for earnings on the board. Nothing you guys will recognize, but we get a few interesting ones later this week. We're going to get NIO this week. We're going to get GameStop this week. But for tomorrow, not a heck of a lot to be watching on the earnings front.
No. Did we have that board? We did. We do get NIO tomorrow? Was that? Yeah, okay. They're Wednesday. Yeah. So nothing big tomorrow. Okay. So that's good. Yeah, that board came and went pretty quickly there. What, are you going golfing there tonight or what?
Beach volleyball.
Oh, beach volleyball for Trader Pratt. Okay, good. All right, so Mullen there, just enough an update on what we're doing. I had to get something out at 67 there. It came back down. It's only 1 penny. But we did get 69s at least on the upside. Let's hold out. I mean, you can see they're starting to layer this a little bit to come in. Now watch. They're going to layer here probably, trying to force this thing down a bit. There it is. See, now they're layering again. So, yeah, they're just kind of influencing this on the way back down. And we'll just wait to see where it goes. But, again, not a big trade. I wish it was bigger than this, but it doesn't look like it's going to turn out to be much. All right, so Bed Bath & Beyond, we actually wind up making money on that trade. We take a decent part out right there at 94 and then back up. Definitely did not break the same way I thought it would. Come back in, so that's on that one for that. Mullen, Rivian. I mean, we only have 4 minutes left, man, and Rivian's trying to bounce off the bottom, same as Shopify. I mean, these have been great trades here today, so really happy with the way they're all kind of like pairing off here to close out. There it is. We'll just take that bid at 14 and get run over and finish our trade there on Rivian. Big trade for me today on that name. One of my top names to go, but hey, it's been a successful day regardless. My number one name, though, without any hesitation, is Shopify. It was the biggest trade here on the board for me as far as our charting goes. We looked at that 30 break. It was monstrous. That 30 break goes all the way back to last year on that level. So we really hit that right there, took advantage, then reloaded it again for you guys. And now we're bouncing off VWAP. I mean, I'm just going to do it right here again. Shopify, again, another good trade into the close. And, ooh, it's a New York stock. I mean, do we want to just... I mean, how much further do we really think we're going to go here? We bid this out at 80 and take that fill, and then just, there it is. It just wipes out all of 80, and we take it out. So there it is, the end of the day. I don't have any, I still have a couple trades. We have Bed Bath & Beyond here because remember my out was going to be at 7. So there it goes. It takes 7, and then I forgot to cancel my out. So we'll have to get out of this one. We don't mean to be long Bed Bath & Beyond. The only long we have left is Mullen, and I might have to just punch that out for flat right now. We got out of Bed Bath & Beyond, no problem. Let's just get out of Mullen now for flat and call it a day, which was a good trade day for us here at Trader TV Live.
Yeah, absolutely great day over here. And yeah, guys, the last thing I'll say market related for the day is when you have these kind of levels that set themselves up, these very interesting levels. So for example, AMD being it today, that 78.50 bottom, again, let's cover this again, bounce, 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 bounce. Best believe that is a level of interest. That is a level of interest because look how many times we bounced off of that level. If support turns to resistance, if we, for whatever reason, open below 3,900 on the ES, if the AMD is below 78.50 for whatever reason, I'm expecting that 78.50 area to be interesting, kind of 78.50 going up to 79, assuming we open below. And just to quickly glance at the 10-minute here, it's like this is what everybody's looking at, right? It's like you had the kind of downtrend, the bottom, right? Now it looks like maybe it wants to hold. If we break below, look out below, man, 75 incoming, and it's going to kind of line up with the rest of the overall market, everything moving in tandem. So I like to watch these things going into the close because it kind of gives me that confidence, that conviction for the next day. So even though you think the day is done, the day is not done. Continue to put that work in, even if it means just watching and observing because it goes such a long way. It helps you for the next day, and we'll see if we get a couple more banger trades out of this one, for the rest of the week.
All right, let's just check out what's happening with the sell here side of these imbalances. Yeah, most things starting to pair off right now. Twitter, Neil talked about that today a little bit. More news there. Only 10 million shares, but did sort of run a little bit there, up to 39, then fell back down. Apple shows up right now as a sell. I didn't see that before. Again, what's Apple down? Only 1% today. So what's the market? Whoops. Sorry about that. I think the market's actually down less. So yeah, Apple down more than the market heading into that sell event tomorrow, not a buy event. Was that tomorrow, Apple? I keep saying that. Is that?
It's tomorrow, yeah.
It is tomorrow at 1. Yeah, okay. So the Apple event tomorrow is a sell event, not a buy event. We'll be watching that very carefully on the ending show in case they do announce something to come through. But there it is, man. The market's starting to sort of just level off. And this is what I mean. Look at this afternoon. So like when we came on the show, it was 1 o'clock. So it's 1 o'clock according to here. So that's right here. So we came on right here. Guess where the market's closing? At the exact level it was when we started the show. So, okay, I don't want to forget about this. That's why I think it's pretty impressive what the damage. You had that great trade on IC. We also had a couple names on Shopify there, Rivian as well, with only 10 seconds left. I hate when the day comes to an end, but at least we've got Tony on the bell. This time we got it right on, Tony, with only 2, 1. Let's hit it. Thank you. So there it is. That's the end of the day. Thank you, Luca, for coming through one more time today on what was another big day in the market. Not. You know, the market had big moves early, and not much late. So big move down, retracement back, and then as I just said, the futures actually finish at 4 o'clock, right where they were at 2 o'clock. So not much in the last little bit. Everyone maybe holding out for Apple, holding out for September the 13th, I think is the big day. Let's go over to the big desk and see exactly where we finish on all the major markets.
Yeah, as you said there, Sean, not too great. The S&P, early on we were strong, but we end up in red. The S&P leading the way, I guess, in terms of relative strength, only down 1/3%. The Dow 0.5%. The NASDAQ down 0.7. Pretty much everything is in the red. Crude mostly flat. It was a bit back and forth earlier, but wow, what a move Bitcoin had when it broke those lows at 19.5 all the way down to 19, and Ethereum also rolling over a little bit there. I just want to make a correction. It was not on our earnings board, but UiPath does report after the bell. So you do get something that might be worth watching tomorrow morning, and that'll be UiPath. Should be after the close. No idea what the time will be there, but that should be worth watching tomorrow. As I said, we get a few more interesting names later on in the session, or later on in the week. Neo, GameStop being among them.
Right, yeah, we'll definitely pay attention for later on in the week. I mean, that UiPath is another one of those Cathie Wood names, so we'll definitely watch out to see if that one gets blown out. We'll check the short interest. We'll check all that. 1.1K, not bad, not bad. See if we can hit the like button one more time. Thank you for watching. Still 4,000 on board. We have the trade of the day coming up next. We've already reviewed a lot of our trades, so I want to thank everybody. Look, I didn't want to turn that guy around. We'll see what happens tomorrow. The NASDAQ, yuck, still down that 0.83 right now and trying to find a bottom. I don't know if there will be one until at least the 13th, which is when we get that CPI reading, so that should be a lot of fun. 1.2K, thank you so much to everybody for hitting. Make sure you join us on all of our streams. We release good educational videos on the weekend as well, including the week ahead. And then every morning about 8 o'clock, we release what to look for on the day's notes as well. Plus our watch list on tradertv.live. Make sure you check that out and all the socials. But hey, man, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and share this. So many people in the chat today like, hey, I found you guys by accident, but glad I did. So I don't know what that by accident part's all about, but hopefully you can find us more and more easily as we move forward. But any last words here, Luca? You're going to be joining us tomorrow as well.
I'll be back tomorrow, yep. Get some rest. You know, should be an exciting week. Pretty exciting. Happy with my performance today. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the show and, you know, enjoy the weather. Hopefully weather's good where you are because it's sunny outside. Yesterday was not, but today is. So, you know, best believe we're enjoying some ice cold beers after this.
I like that. Best believe. 1.2K. Thank you so much for watching again. For everybody here, thanks. A big shout out, obviously, to Fahad today. A big shout out to Lucas as well. A shout out to Brendan chilling on the beach. Neil, what can we do about that? Not much. I know you had a great time in Dallas as well, and it's nice to have you back. A big shout out to our midday show. I keep saying Luca, but you're beside me. Sharif and Pratt on the midday show as well. And a big shout out to my man to the right here. And of course to you as well, Neil, on the desk. So, hey, look, what makes the dream work is what, Neil?
Teamwork.
Exactly. So join us tomorrow one more time. 8:30, we're back, and we'll be putting that teamwork to work for all of you. Thank you for watching Trader TV Live, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Ciao, guys.